for the entire month of April, other than the draft. Live sports, that was. And we made it. We survived it.
Mm-hmm.
We did it. Now what? Do we see it? May, we will have some sports, at least on the calendar, right? Right here in Jacksonville, starts it up with the MMA next week. And then NASCAR has announced a bunch of racing in like a 2-week span. And, of course, we might have to wait until June to get the golf part. But when do we see other sports open up? I kind of think every time we turn the calendar, that's a good thing in that sense. And no doubt, at least in our state, in our city here in Jacksonville, Monday is going to be kind of a refreshing day for a lot of folks. The malls are opening back up. If the St. John's Town Center is opening back up, it's kind of like, okay,
yeah,
life is back to normal a little bit. So at least a sense of that. I don't think we're going to be completely there, but a sense of that.
Well, I'm sure there's going to be traffic again to
That's right.
Make you pull your head out a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Give us some traffic. Right?
Yeah, man.
Although that has not been a bad part of this whole thing. I mean, spaces in the parking lots are easy to get in, and the roadways are pretty clear for the most part. So anyway, some news coming along every day, it seems like now. In terms of the reopening of Jacksonville, of Florida, of other states, and we'll see how soon sports follows suit. In addition to what we already know, the college football talk continues to be an interesting one on all the different possibilities. I tweeted Thomas Goldcamp earlier this afternoon, and there was a bunch of different scenarios, a lot that we talked about yesterday, actually, but interesting nonetheless. Meanwhile, it's football all the time here, or at least most of the time here, and we continue to celebrate local sports. Prior to the draft, which we kind of put it on hold for a week or so, we were celebrating a lot of the local sports teams, from the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp to the Icemen to JU to UNF, and the list continues. And we will continue to do that, by the way, heading into the summer months. Today, we give it a little bit of a twist. We're going to celebrate fans, specifically more Jaguars fans, and at least more specifically, the Bold City Brigade. We've done some things over the 15 months we've had the show where we kind of call it Bring in the Brigade, and we've had some folks on, and we've talked a little bit in the past just about that fan group, if you will. And today, we go a little bit more behind the scenes on the Bold City Brigade. We'll have Cap on. He's joined us on the show before. How about this list of guests, okay?
Yeah.
Just from names alone. Cap, Dilla, Elfie.
Sure.
That's a unique set of guests.
Sounds like a bunch of guys from Peaky Blinders. You probably don't watch that show, so you don't get it. But
I've heard it, though.
Yeah, there you go, man.
So, anyway, we're going to have some fun. You're always welcome to join the show, 904-362-9901. And we're not going to just talk Jags, but really where the Bold City Brigade kind of was born, which we've done a little bit in the past. The schedule comes out next week, and this is kind of why I wanted to have this day today. Mm-hmm. It's after the draft. It's before the schedule comes out. And I think for folks who are members of the Bold City Brigade, that's an important time because a lot of road trips are made. So we'll talk to Cap a little bit about that. Dilla has become like the Schefter and Rappaport of around here.
Sure.
Guys breaking stories. Who the hell is the guy?
Is he black? Is he white? We don't even know that.
Who's his source?
Yeah.
Is he really Dave Caldwell, Tad Dickman, or somebody else?
Yeah.
It's me. I'm his source.
We want to know.
Yeah.
And we might have to find out.
Yeah.
You talk about tough questions, Dilla. Get ready. They're coming.
There you go.
Then behind, Alfie has been associated with Big Cat Country for a long time. And I'm a little bit curious of where that all started and came from. You know, I think a lot of things happen I've been here since 2008, right? Mm-hmm. So a lot of things happen and you're like, they become the norm and you're kind of like, oh yeah, I know, for this instance, Big Cat Country, I know what the kind of a blog site, fan site. But how did it come about? It's gained popularity, of course, over the years, and rightfully so. And so we'll do a little bit of that, a little bit different today on the show. I'm intrigued by the kind of the background of some of that that will take place. So anyway, lots of Jags talk. You're more than welcome to jump in. And by the way, I do know this. Bold City Brigade is not the only fan group, if you will, from Teal Street hooligans to others. Hey, we love y'all. Jump on in. But we are familiar with some of the folks in Bold City Brigade. We've had them on the show before, and so we're going to start there today. But everyone's always invited to the show. I think somebody said, "Where's my invite?" It's like, you guys are invited to the show every day. Yeah. We keep the lines open every day.
We're an equal opportunity employer.
That's right. *690 904 362 9901. So jump on in the program. We'll have a little fun with it. And I'm even supporting some of the stuff. I've got the gear on a little bit.
Nice, man.
Duval Till We Die. And my man Made by Tim makes a lot of this stuff.
Cool.
He also, he lives down near me. Seen him in the neighborhood, I think, jogging around with the Dream 18 logo because he helped us with the Dream 18 logo last year.
Cool.
Talented guy. So
cool.
They come up with a bunch of cool things, and I saw the most recent one. They're going to celebrate LaVisca Chenault with Asta LaVisca.
I'm not mad at that.
Pretty good.
That's very creative, man.
I like it. Because
I'll be honest, man, as far as this draft class is concerned, I had the whole, the Barracuda thing, for Okuda from the Lions, but he didn't come to Jacksonville.
You were giving up on that.
I know. He's not in Jacksonville. So I'm not going to support the Lions fans, man. They can have it if they want.
Money's
this
money.
This whole draft class, though, as far as names and cool things you could do, there's the Smoothie King that you could do for Barch and everything. But overall, man,
that's appropriate.
It's a pretty pedestrian thing. But Chenault, though, man, that's I love it. I love that whole parody thing. So I think they might have something there with it.
By the way, we need to get in touch with Made by Tim because we need him. And if anybody steals it, we've already got lawyers ready. But we need Shock Your Mock.
Shock Your Mock, New Sac City, yeah. Sheriff of New Sac City.
We've got plenty of things
we do.
Ready to roll. Mm-hmm. We just got to get the lawyers all in one place.
Yes, we do.
Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Coos here on a Friday. Hope you and your families are doing well and heading into a weekend. And maybe on the other side of this, a bit more normalcy next week. So that will be an interesting thing as we kind of get back to normal. And I think it will take some time. But how close are we to that is certainly something that's interesting. Andy Dalton, Gardner Minshew conversations continue on the national level. We'll play Golick and Wingo this morning in just a little bit, but our buddy Jason Fitz and Golick went at it on that front.
Can't wait to hear this.
I know you shared your thoughts from yesterday's show on Gardner Minshew, and that has been a talker once again, and we agree. Unfortunately, we agree, or we could debate too, but we agree on the Minshew front and how Dalton fits into this equation. Doug Marrone was on Good Morning Football this morning and echoed essentially what we thought he would, and that is Gardner Minshew's our quarterback, but we always keep the door open to veterans coming in and competition. He better say that, but I also think the way he said it and the way he continues to say it is the plan going forward is Gardner Minshew. And one thing about that, how much do you, by this point, you kind of want to know who your guy is. There's an option to go into camp, right? If, say, Foles was still on the roster, you can't always have that dynamic where, hey, they're going to battle it out. They're going to go in the spring. They're going to go through the first couple of games of the preseason. Then we'll name a starter. There's always that dynamic. But I think ideally you want to know who your guy is. And maybe even more ideal in this time because that guy needs to communicate. We talked to Colin Johnson this week, and Minshew reached out to him right away. That communication, quarterback, receivers, quarterback, offensive line, quarterback, offensive coordinator, quarterback, running backs, is important. Who is the man? I think it helps that the Jaguars know that Minshew is the man in 2020. And I think it's pretty clear. It doesn't matter who you bring in here. The only thing that changes that between now and the season opener, twofold. One is injury, and two is really poor performance and uncomfortability with what Minshew is doing in August to get you ready for the season.
Yeah, regardless of what happens here with Andy Dalton, Cam Newton, whoever you want to come in here, Gardner Minshew is the man going forward. Because if Andy Dalton comes in, Andy Dalton's not going to lead the Jacksonville Jaguars to greatness for the next 5 to 10 years. If Cam Newton comes in, Cam Newton will not lead the Jaguars to 5 to 10 years of greatness for the up and coming years. It's just not going to happen. So Gardner Minshew is the man going forward, regardless of who they bring in. All right, because there's a reason why Dave Caldwell was retained. There's a reason why Doug Marrone still has a job, and a lot of that has to do, I think, with the fact that Gardner Minshew is on this football team. Shad Khan's intrigued. Shad Khan likes him, not only from obviously a football standpoint, but also a business standpoint. So yeah, you cannot tell me any differently, regardless regardless of who they bring here as a backup quarterback, that Gardner Minshew is not the man.
And just as much as you say that, and some people say that, everybody could easily say, hey, what about an upgrade? Is there always an upgrade possibility? Well, heck yeah, there's always the upgrade possibility. And then I also think the national narrative, if one of those guys come here, will definitely be kind of what Golick said yesterday, and I think we might hear a little bit more today, is that Andy Dalton has a great chance to compete, but also be the guy. Like almost foregone conclusion, dismissal of Gardner Minshew. And that's what we really spent time on the show yesterday talking about. Why are we dismissing a guy that showed some things last year? And I think it's important not to dismiss that. Jeff Darlington tweeted today, yes, Dalton, there's interest in Jacksonville, but it's not necessarily to be the guy. It's to complement the guy.
Yeah.
And that's what makes a lot of sense to us. So we'll talk more about it. We'll see what the national guys are saying about it. And we obviously have a lot of Jags talk today. We're calling it Bring in the Brigade Day, Bold City Brigade Day here on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. We'll have some fun with it. We celebrate local sports. We celebrate the fans. We celebrate you, and especially all of you who support the Jaguars so well. Jump on in the conversation, 904-362-9901. What the national guys are saying about Dalton to Jacksonville coming up next on ESPN 690. We'll take a timeout, and we'll be right back after this.
Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Sunny and nice today. The afternoon high around 80 degrees. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax from the First Alert Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
When you think about your AC system, do you think cool, clean, efficient air? Or maintenance, costly repairs, filters, refrigerant, wear and tear from our extreme Jacksonville temperatures, year-round humidity, and salty air? You know that most of the time, AC ownership is anything but stress-free. That's why Wakehoff's AC offers stress-free AC ownership. For a low monthly cost, starting at just $100 per month, you get a brand new efficient AC system with a smart thermostat. All of your repairs are covered with both parts and labor at no charge. Wakehoff's is going to conduct all your maintenance visits for free, keeping your system running cool, efficient, and clean. And they'll even take care of all your filters. Starting at just $100 per month or just $155 a month for the highest performing system. Imagine a brand new efficient system. No cost repairs, no cost maintenance, no cost filters, no stress. It's the stress-free AC program from Wakehoff's. Call them today, 880-5525 or wakehoffsac.com. When your car needs service, you want a safe place to go. That place is Arlington Toyota. Here's how Arlington has enhanced safety in their service department to keep you and their team of technicians safe. You can drop off your vehicle and Arlington will give you a solo ride home, so you don't have to wait on site. Arlington will even pick up your vehicle from you and return it free through April 30th. And speaking of sanitized, Arlington is cleaning the steering wheel, center consoles, and gear shift with sanitizing wipes as an added precaution. And if you come in, Arlington has enhanced its cleaning measures using hospital-grade sanitizing products and cleaning high-touch surfaces every hour. They've also increased the space between seats in their lounges and cashier lines to maintain the safe 6-foot distance recommended by the CDC. Oh, and if you need parts, you can order them and pay for them online, and Arlington will deliver them for free until April 30th as well. The service, parts, and collision departments at Arlington Toyota are open, and they've adjusted their hours to best serve you. Get the latest updates or schedule your appointment at arlingtontoyota.com today. And most of all, stay well and know that Arlington is here for you.
Hi everyone, I'm Kim, Client Relations Manager here at Reliant. Reliant has always been focused on the customer experience. Reliant has been a leader in the industry when it comes to using technology to connect with our clients whenever needed. So while everything around us continues to change and other contractors are scrambling to adapt to the new normal, Reliant remains steadfast, ready to serve our clients. Our client coordinators are available to discuss your roofing, solar, and hurricane shutter projects, so give us a call today.
Where is this water coming from?
Who will deliver us lunch?
Why is the air conditioner blowing hot air?
Where can I get a tire fixed?
Do you know someone who can get marker stains out of the carpet?
What do we need to do to get the pool ready?
These and hundreds of other questions are still being asked daily. Will the answer be your business or your competitors? Don't leave it to chance. Let Cox Media Group Jacksonville make you the answer to their questions. Contact us at 245-8732 or email buildjax@cmg.com and let's build Jax.
Hey everybody, this is Brent Martineau. If you're usually listening to ESPN 690 in your car, we appreciate it. But your boss has you working from home this week, so take us with you. Your smart speaker brings ESPN 690 into your home office. Tell your Amazon Echo or Google Home to play ESPN 690.
Now, back to Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 and in the iHeartRadio app.
He's our quarterback. There's no doubt about it. And, but one of the things that we're doing is we're still looking to, make sure that we're, upgraded at each position. So, we're still looking. I mean, there are some veterans out there that we might, look at to bring in, along with the young guys that we have.
That was Doug Marone.
Is he a professional wrestler, man? Cutting that promo?
That was Doug Marone on Good Morning Football. And so that was like music bed underneath the highlights that they were about to show, right?
I love it.
While Marone's talking, I was like, gosh, that's when you just listen to the audio of that, that's a little distracting.
Pretty intense.
So what was worse was because they did it late in that comment for Minshew, there was like, while they were asking the next question, the highlights were playing, so the music kept going. So on the audio side, it was
That is a little odd. I guess you don't realize that when you're watching too, right?
Yeah.
I didn't realize they played music under those parts.
I had no idea.
That's a little different. Like we might play music on TV and highlights. Like ESPN really made that kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. They would play music under the highlights. We would do it a lot during Friday night football highlights. So like the Friday night blitz. Yeah. Because you're moving so quick. And plus it's kind of like the same thing for a long period of time. So the music helps it go. It's a little unique to have it on a live interview.
It's crazy.
Like that, but pretty interesting when you just hear the audio of it like that. Either way, Doug Marone on Good Morning Football pretty much saying what he said last week during the draft, kind of what he said before the draft. Mm-hmm. If we roll the ball out there right now, Gardner Minshew's the man. And I just don't know if anybody outside of the 904 wants to believe it.
It's because no one's paying attention, Brent. All right?
It is.
That's simple as that, man. The national media. And listen, I'm not going to tell people how to do their jobs because if I was in national media, I couldn't tell you what's going on probably with the Arizona Cardinals right now. I couldn't tell you what's going on with the Washington Redskins. So I don't fault them for it. But the fact is, they're not paying attention. To think that Andy Dalton, and I'm not sure if it's Golick or it's going to be Fitz, that, when they get in that huge debate, who's talking about it. But to think that Andy Dalton's going to come in here and be a starter over Gardner Minshew, like, you guys just aren't paying attention, okay? Like, you guys are reading Cliff Notes or something like that, but you're not paying attention. You're not watching the movie. You're not watching the season. You're just clicking an article here, and think you know what you're talking about, but you don't.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Sometimes they do, though. I've been in the wrong before many a times on the Jags, on the Sunshine and Rainbow part of the Jags, that, hey, they're going to have a good year this year or whatever. And the national guys would be like, yeah, right, they're going to win 5 games. Mm-hmm. And you know what? They've been right. They have a better feel for it. Sometimes the blinders are on maybe around here for all of us, me included. And so you do wonder a little bit of that. Could they be right on the Minshew front, that he's really not the guy? Like, if that's the narrative, absolutely they could be right. But what they're wrong about right now is the idea that this team, this front office, doesn't believe that going forward with him in 2020 is a good idea. They want that. And so they're wrong with that. Are they wrong that it might not be the right way to go? Well, who knows? We'll see, right? I mean, Minshew's got to prove us right, them right, and the national folks wrong. I mean, that's up to Minshew. We can't control that. But I do think they are missing it a little bit right now. They are, and just because of name recognition. They're totally missing it because of name recognition.
I'm going to say it one more time, and hopefully the national guys are listening to this then. Or if not, then I'll put it on Twitter, and I'll tag you in it, and you can check it out. But Andy Dalton is not going to come in here and lead the Jaguars for the next 5 years. Neither is Cam Newton. The only guy that's capable of doing it right now, the only guy that has a chance to do it, is Gardner Minshew. So let's see what the guy has, and then we'll go from there. But Dalton's not going to come in here and turn this whole thing around. I hate to tell you, he's not going to do it.
No, absolutely not. Like you said yesterday.
So what are we talking about then? Like what are we discussing?
what we should be discussing is what we discussed yesterday, and he can help him out. But that's not the only thing being discussed. Golick and Wingo this morning, Jason Fitz was on, who visits with us every week, every Tuesday at 4 o'clock. Also, you listen to him right here on ESPN 690, 1 p.m. until 3 p.m. And, of course, you get Golick and Wingo on ESPN 690, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday. They went at it a little bit on the Minshew-Dalton front. Take a listen.
You guys would both agree that if Jacksonville offers him a job, that's where he should go.
I don't know that I necessarily agree with Jacksonville. It's simply because if he goes somewhere and starts and has no success, it doesn't help his cause. If
Wait a
it's
minute.
A one-year deal
Wait
somewhere.
a minute. You would say he would choose Pittsburgh and be a backup instead of going to Jacksonville where he could be the starter. You're nuts.
If it's
you
a
are
one-year deal,
nuts.
if it's a one-year deal,
I don't care if it's a one-year deal. You know how you get back in the league? By going and playing somewhere and showing your wares to somebody else. So he goes and beats a one-year deal in Pittsburgh and is a backup and doesn't play. Where is he on the market then the year after that?
How often do we see Teddy Bridgewater get 4 games with a great team and suddenly they elevate that into $20 million
how often?
a
How
year?
often do we see it? Not that
backup,
often.
We see backup quarterbacks.
Oh my
get deals.
God! If you think he would choose Pittsburgh over starting in Jacksonville, you are crazy.
On a one-year deal,
and he would be crazy, and he wouldn't do it. He would be in Jacksonville. He would walk to Jacksonville over going to Pittsburgh.
He'd be going to a team that likely is going to be tanking for the top pick in the draft. He's going to go somewhere where he has absolutely no success in Jacksonville.
No,
I
please,
totally
Mike,
disagree with that.
add some sense.
I totally disagree with that.
Choice. Jacksonville offers him. Money's not an issue. Jacksonville and Pittsburgh. It's not even a choice.
It's a one-year contract.
I don't care.
Way.
I don't care if it's a 2-month contract. I don't care. To think he wouldn't go to Jacksonville is absurd. Absurd.
To think he would go to Jacksonville is absurd.
Oh,
He'll
my
crush his
God.
value if he goes to a team that finishes 2-14.
Wow.
He'll be done in this league. If he goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers and he at least gets 3 or 4 games of effective offense is enough to suddenly get guys paid.
All right, there's Jason Fitz and Golick, Mike Golick on Golick and Wingo this morning. Now, here's the deal. That was interesting context, too. That wasn't necessarily in terms of total, hey, how do they value who's going to play and whatever, although let's say a lot of assumption that Dalton would get a chance to start. But that's not necessarily where they were going with that. It's more situational. The bottom line is the best place to go start. And national guy, local guy, whatever guy, you're wrong if you don't think this. The best place to go start for Andy Dalton is if the Patriots are interested in you. Would you agree?
Yeah, but is he going to start? We don't know if he's going to start there, though.
No, I'm saying the best chance to start.
For him to go start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's got to be.
Because you don't know what you have in Stidham. But I don't know how the Patriots feel about everybody. But
we don't either. That's a fair point because a lot of people.
So once again, not gonna make an assumption, read the Quip notes, and say, "Oh yeah, if Dalton goes to New England, he's a starter." I really don't know how they feel about Stidham. I mean, I assume they like him. They drafted him for a reason. So I'm not sure where Dalton fits in the grand scheme of things in New England.
Me either. Hey, you're gonna be very happy in a second.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
You ready?
Okay.
What did we talk about at the Combine? Who the Jaguars should add. No-brainer add.
Chris Thompson?
Chris Thompson.
He's a Jaguar?
He's a Jaguar.
Well, here we go. Let's go. I finally got what I wanted. Somebody's listening to the show. Long time coming. Is it official?
It will be.
Break that news then, Brent.
I'm doing it.
Can you break it on the air as well?
There's a report out there now anyway. I'm not going to sit here and say. But I can tell you that he's coming.
Okay.
And
I like it.
What does he do? Why do you like it so much? We talked about this back at the Combine. Why do you like it so much?
I like Chris Thompson coming to Jacksonville for a couple reasons. Number one, it spells Fournette a little bit. Nothing against Fournette last year. Played in every single game up until the last game of the season. One could say maybe they're just resting him because obviously the season was out of grasp. So Leonard Fournette, when he's healthy, he's great on the field, and I like it. But guess what? Giving him the rock 30 times a game in the run or pass game, it's just, to me, it's too much for any running back. I don't care if it's Todd Gurley. I don't care if it's Ezekiel Elliott. I don't care if it's Saquon Barkley. Like, you need to spell your guys sometimes. This is what Chris Thompson does. Chris Thompson is a third down specialist. He's a receiving threat, especially with, you talk about add weapons for Gardner Minshew. Well, the offensive line right now, I wouldn't say they're top 10 in the NFL. When that pocket breaks down on third down, you need a fail-safe. You may not have that at the tight end position quite yet. You have Tyler Eifert. Can he stay healthy? But another fail-safe is the receiving running back. Chris Thompson can offer that to the nth degree. So Chris Thompson, he's another weapon for Gardner Minshew. He's another weapon for Gruden's defense, who he's used to working with. And most importantly, defensive coordinators have to take note because he is a weapon and you have to plan accordingly.
I don't understand why it took so long to sign him. I really don't. Yeah. But go back to the combine. We had J.P. Finley who covers the Redskins. Mm-hmm. And we talked about this, remember? Yep. And it actually took me a minute to gather the name Chris Thompson and think about who he was talking about. And talking about a guy you could actually stretch into the local area in a way. He's from Madison County and played his high school ball there from Greenville, Florida, which I wouldn't have known. But he played at Madison County in terms of high school and then went to Florida State. And he was drafted in the 5th round, and from 2013 to 19, played for the Washington Redskins. This is what you're talking about. Look at his career stats, okay? 1,194 rushing yards, 4.8 yards a carry. Not bad. Good, yeah. Handful of touchdowns. But, it's not a ton of yards. That's a season for people. He's been in the league 6 years. Yeah. 1,770 receiving yards. Yep. Your third down back. That's what he is. He's got 10 touchdowns receiving. He seems like the perfect fit here with Jay Gruden. Yes, it was a little bit of a connection of dots, much like the Andy Dalton stuff has been. But this is something the Jaguars needed. They did not address in the draft. You have been harping on this, man, for a year and a half, as much as you were harping on the 3-4 looks on the defensive side. Give me the change of pace. Give me something to complement Leonard Fournette, to even complement Rock Armstead. It's not that guy. We were having trouble finding that guy in the draft, to be honest with you. Yeah. There were mixed reviews. I know you like the Darius Anderson kid out of TCU, but there were some mixed thoughts on even his style of play, if it would fit that. This guy's done it.
Of course.
And so you add a veteran to a pretty young football team, a guy that you know what he can do, familiarity with the offense. Listen, I'm not saying, hey, Jags just going to win 2 more games now because of this, but this is a sensible play and a nice play for the Jacksonville Jaguars. You can't do anything but like it.
It's a no-brainer for me, okay? And it's a no-brainer from the standpoint that this fills a need right now, and depending what the contract is, it could fill a need for the future. Right? Because depending how healthy Chris Thompson can stay, this is a guy who, once again, maybe he gets 5 receptions a game. Maybe he gets 10 to 12 plays a game. It's not going to be that much wear and tear on your body. So you can have a longevity of a career. And especially at the third down back, which I think is a kind of a premium position, he could have a role in Jacksonville if Gruden's going to be here for a while, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, who knows about the wild part, but
well, that's what I'm saying. If Gruden's here for a while, then I think Chris Thompson could be here for a while.
Yeah, good call.
We don't know.
So, listen, it's interesting, right? Because we start this segment, and we did it yesterday a bunch, and we're now talking about it a little bit again today, Andy Dalton. See, Andy Dalton makes me feel better about their QB room. I feel fine with Minshew. I love what they're doing. I explained it yesterday, and you explained it perfectly yesterday, and I just piggybacked and said, you know what? I love the fact that you're actually one of the few times this is a fortuitous spot in a way for the Jags from a timing standpoint. You have a lot of draft capital. If you're not good, you can go invest in a QB next year. But if this guy's the real deal, you get a great chance to find out. You Foles, you unloaded, all the things kind of add up to be like, you know what, this is the right thing to do.
It's a win-win situation at the most important position of football.
Absolutely. Yet, I like the idea of all that. I have faith in Minshew. I'm excited to see what this guy can do. I'm not declaring he's going to be the guy for 5 years, but I'm excited.
You don't have to, yeah.
I'm not excited about their room. Dobbs, we've kind of had on the show, but I like him. A likable guy, just doesn't have a lot of experience. You go get Luton, come on, he's got no experience in the NFL, even though he's kind of an older guy. That's fine. This changes if you have Andy Dalton in that room to me. I'm just telling you from a feel perspective, I feel so much better. Well, it's kind of like this with Chris Thompson. I'm not sure that he changes their offense. I'm not sure he makes them, oh my gosh, dynamic like maybe Chenault could end up doing. Mm-hmm. But he makes me feel better, and probably the folks down there feel better about their room, their depth, their diversity in their running back room.
I forgot, it might have been Steven a couple days ago when he called in, was talking about McAdoo, right? How Aaron Rodgers, thanks to McAdoo, Aaron Rodgers became Aaron Rodgers. And while that's a good point, and while McAdoo is now in the quarterback room with the Jacksonville Jaguars, it also revolves around Brett Favre, okay? Because Brett Favre wasn't the guy who just kind of cold-shouldered Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers had a question, Brett Favre told him the answer, okay? So with that being said, if I'm the Jacksonville Jaguars right now, and I'm trying to develop Gardner Minshew, I'm trying to bring a guy in that's been there before. I'm trying to bring a guy who has playoff experience. I'm trying to bring a guy who has, familiarity in the offense. And I'm trying to bring a guy that Gardner Minshew can bounce questions off of, right? Lamar Jackson, he had Joe Flacco. Everyone praised Joe Flacco, how great he was with Lamar Jackson. Not the same type of player, but Joe Flacco helped him out. Any question that Lamar had, Joe answered it. Same thing with Alex Smith and Patrick Mahomes. Alex Smith has been nothing but gracious when Patrick Mahomes came in and took his job. Andy Reid's the first person to say that Alex Smith, him kind of helping Mahomes out, him kind of coaching him up, is a key to developing Patrick Mahomes as a quarterback. Okay, so we always see this story. The last thing that's going to happen is Andy Dalton coming to Jacksonville. He's like, well, screw this young guy. I'm trying to look out for number one. I'm trying to be a starter. I'm not going to help Gardner Minshew. That's not the way locker rooms get regulated. It's not the way the NFL works. Okay, so once again, bringing Andy Dalton in only helps Gardner Minshew because now you bring him with a vet, a guy with experience. And it's with football, with any job, Brent. Any job you bring in, any important position, you want to have a guy that's got experience, man. Simple as that.
Yeah, very well said. So Chris Thompson will be with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Third down back makes so much sense. We'll see what happens on the Andy Dalton front, but the Jaguars continue to make some offseason moves. We make a move right now to the phones, and we bring in here on Bring In the Brigade Day, Bold City Brigade, Jaguar Fan Day on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Kind of the leader of the bunch. I don't know if that's a compliment or not. John Caputo. Bold City Cap, as you know him. Cap, what's happening,
I didn't even know his name. His name's John? For real, I didn't know his name. That's awesome.
Call me whatever you want to call me, Austin. Just call me, buddy.
The only reason I know is because we're Facebook friends.
I got you.
What's happening, man?
Not much, man. Just, living the Rona quarantine life. Craziness with kids and trying to work from home and all of the above,
Did you sell your house yet?
Yeah, the other one's under contract. Yep,
baby.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're things are progressing here. Knock on wood. So
very good, awesome stuff. Hey, Chris Thompson just got signed. Do anything for you?
I saw that. Yeah, the Dillicle tweeted me a little bit ago or texted me, and I like the signing, man. As far as a change of pace guy goes, the third down. Offer you a little something other than what Leonard and Rock bring potentially. I like him. I don't think we really had that on the roster, and I think it's better to have him and then see what you got in some of these rookies that they brought in. I like a few of the young guys that they brought in on the undrafted side of the running back position, but again, you don't know what they have to offer. You know what Chris Thompson brings.
Absolutely.
And if you can stay healthy, I like it a lot.
Yeah. Hey, last time we talked to you, you were not in the best of moods when we were talking Jags when we had you on. It was the whole London stuff. And who knows? We still think the schedule comes out next week, and I think a lot of that London stuff will go by the wayside given the times. But how do you feel about this offseason? To take that away for a moment, how do you feel about the draft? How do you feel about going to Minshew? All the stuff that is happening in terms of this kind of rebuild, reload, whatever you want to call it on the roster. What are you feeling about it?
Oh, yeah. I think, I don't know if cautiously optimistic is the phrase, but as far as what they're doing, I think you can see it a little bit better now after the draft. I think as they were either trading or releasing guys, a lot of people were like, well, wait a minute here. What the heck is this roster going to look like? I think the unfortunate thing for somebody like Dave Caldwell and Doug Marrone is it's tough to fix everything in one offseason. And so while there may be a little bit of cautious optimism that the defense, even without some of its leaders of years past, might still be a viable unit, I think the offense still leaves a little bit to wonder. And I heard Austin talking before you came on, and I agree with him as far as everything with Gardner. I like the move. I mean, I think with a team in a position like this, not being good for the last couple of years, you got to see what you have in them. And my biggest worry at this point is I don't know that they've done a ton to surround him with new things this offseason. I like some of the moves they've made, but I think from things that I've heard from people on the inside, I think them as a staff, they're a little bit more excited and comfortable with what they have on the offensive side than I think most of us fans are.
Cap, being a Jaguars fan for the past decade, obviously there's been a lot more lows than there has been highs. And what I like about you, man, is you're passionate. You get on Twitter, you speak your mind. You don't really apologize to anybody with that. And to be fair, the past couple seasons, it's been more, probably in your feelings where it's been negative than positive. So I'm going to probably present you with the toughest question you're going to hear all year right now.
Oh
boy.
Give me 5 positive things that you're excited about for the Jaguars going into this season.
Okay, all right. That's maybe not as easy as it has been at times in the past, but I'm
we didn't prep him on homework assignment.
No, man.
No, that's okay. I can roll off the cuff. Listen, I know sometimes people who don't know me and who don't interact with me one-on-one regularly, just based off of my Twitter, they think I'm a really negative person, and I'm not. Like, if you know me in everyday life, I'm not. Something that the Jaguars have done to me over the last 15, 20 years, yes, and that's kind of my, like you said, that's kind of my outlet on Twitter. That's where I'm basically there to talk Jags, and as we all know, there's not a ton of great things to talk about over the past decade. So as far as 5 things, I would say I'm excited to see what happens with Gardner. I don't have grandiose expectations that he's going to be this phenomenal franchise guy. If he turns into a really serviceable franchise type quarterback, top 12, 15 guy, awesome. So I'm excited to see that going into this year. I'm excited to see what DJ Chark does.
Okay.
I'm excited to see what some of these draft picks do. So that I'd say if you want to go 3, that would be Chenault specifically. I'm excited to see what he does. I was a big fan of his before the draft. I was pretty excited that we were able to land him, so I guess you'd call that 3. 4, and maybe you could throw another draft pick in there and call him 4. And finally, I would say, honestly, I'm excited for every season. Like, I go into it, and I'm with the family. Like, I go into it hoping, right? I mean, you may not get that impression on Twitter, but I go into it hoping, just like everybody else. I think over time you just get burned so many times by this that it's. But I don't know. I mean, there hasn't been a ton of change off of what was a really bad season or 2 in a row. So it's tough to come in and say, oh, anything could happen. We weren't expecting it in 2017, but anything could happen. I know that's Brent's take most of the time. I try and counteract Brent on Twitter. He's always positive.
You're the anti-Brent, if you will.
You certainly can do that.
Sunshine and Rainbows meets the Black Parade. I like it.
You're not the only one that does that in terms of combating. John Caputo with us from the Bold City Brigade, big Jag supporter. I've got some questions for you, too, Matt. Can you be fired from as the ringleader of the brigade? Like, is that – do they vote on you every year or what?
No, man, listen, somebody wants a job, send me a resume, send it in. They can have it. I'll take a couple years off. I think at this point, it really, we still have a ton of people that interact with us that join up every year. When we first started, there was, 12 to 15 people that were super involved in a lot of the decisions we were making. And then over time, life just kind of happens. People have kids, people move, people get, more intense jobs. People burn out on the team, whatever it may be. And so it's kind of left with 2 or 3 of us left. And, I guess I sort of end up being the spokesperson more often than not. But I'm not really operating in like a iron fist president's role here. The few of us that are still left that kind of make the decisions, we make everything together. So, but again, if anybody wants to, wants to come apply for the job, it's, it's open.
Yeah. How is membership? Is it good? I mean, has it grown year by year, or is it kind of plateaued?
Yeah, I would say that it's kind of plateaued. What's really interesting when you start talking about that, Brent, and the kind of the growth and the just the bell curve, if you will, of our membership and of our tenure as a group. Like the team hasn't been good except for that 1 year. In the 9 official years, almost 10 years we've been doing this. So we never really have seen what the group could do as far as putting things together and organizing even more and taking off as far as numbers, because fan excitement has been pretty down most of the time that we've been around. So we've kind of stopped focusing so much on what the numbers are and just trying to do cool trips, cool tailgates, make really cool gear that people like to wear. And maybe if the team comes back around again, then we'll start worrying about how many numbers we have one day. I don't know. But we don't focus too much on it anymore. We used to a lot.
All right, Cap. So Brent wanted me to do this little. Well,
this has become your thing.
Well, this has become my thing. I don't want to do it with these guys, but I mean, we're here now.
Oh, no,
so
you
let's
have
go.
to do it with
this
these
was
guys.
your idea. Okay, and
I'll
we're
take
gonna
ownership of this.
All right,
this
Cap.
is fine, but this is real. Cap knows he doesn't know it's coming, but he's okay with it.
All right, Cap. So a little background of what's about to happen right here, man. I'm not sure if you've been watching the show a lot, but I'm going to have a documentary coming to Netflix, hopefully in the past, probably like the next couple years or so. It's going to be called Softball Behind the Ponytail and Chance, a cult story. And reading that out now, that's trash. That's a horrible name. I haven't said it out loud before. I'm going to change it and get back to you. But besides that, in terms of a cult, all right, we have a website here that that kind of portrays if you are indeed in a cult or not and what you should do if you are. So the question arises, is the Bold City Brigade a cult? I'm gonna list off four adjectives, four kind of things right here to run by you. And then you tell me the answer, okay? Now, don't say anything before I tell you this. I'm just going to read out the four things, the four statements, and we'll see where we go from here. Number one, the group exemplifies extreme obsessiveness with the group or leader. Number two, any criticism or questioning that is involved within the group is characterized and persecuted. Number three, reliance on the group or leader for value judgments and thoughts. And number four, there is no legitimate reason to leave, and former followers are always wrong in leaving, negative and or considered evil. Have you experienced any one of these statements in the Bold City Brigade? And if you have experienced one, have you experienced two, three, or four?
All right, so in my opinion, which would probably differ from some of the critics of mine, and maybe some of the critics of the group as a whole, I would say no, nothing is that serious. We don't take ourselves that serious. But, I guess maybe one of those things out of the four, but definitely not all of them, from my perspective. I mean, we've probably been accused of at least three of those in the past. So,
by the way, everybody's got the negative connotation to the cult, like the cult following.
Yeah.
Now I understand there are some cults that should have a negative connotation.
Yeah,
but the cult following thing can usually be a successful thing.
And listen, and I don't want to say anything because
I'll take a cult
I've hung out
following
with these guys. All right, when it was the Bills playoff game here in Jacksonville, Jags Bills, I was there at the slab, and I circled up and everything. No, I didn't drink anything because I had a fight coming up.
Oh, you did.
So maybe that's the I didn't drink anything. All right, key word there. I didn't smoke anything. Keyword there. But I'm just saying, from the perspective of what I saw, being in depth in it, being ingrained in it, I don't think they're a cult. But these statements are at this website, it makes you wonder.
But Bold City Cap, you bring up a good point. You have a lot of critics. I said you guys were coming on today, and we got some not so great responses. Are you okay with that?
Man, most of those people are nerds, Brent. It's fine. I mean, they wouldn't come say it to my face, so it's fine. No, yes, I'm fine with it. I mean, if people want to take all of it that seriously, that they want to judge someone, or a group that they've never actually interacted with, or someone that they've never met or hung out with in person, then that's on them. That's not on me. The people who know me, part of our group or not, active in our group or not, the people who know me, they know me, and I'm totally comfortable with that. You guys know that. I mean, I'm sure you're in the media, Brent. You got, maybe not Brent. Everybody loves Brent. He's like the nice guy. But,
he is, man. He is the nice guy.
I mean, I'm sure you get critics and you get people that want to paint a picture of who you are in their head, and that's all that that's all they can go with. But I've never really let too much of that bother me. So. Yeah.
Bold City Cap with us. John Caputo here from the Bold City Brigade. As we bring in the brigade, celebrating sports, celebrating the fans, especially the Jags fans here today on a Friday. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. We'll let you run in a minute, but a couple more quick ones. Do you guys, like Teal Street Hooligans, I know that there's a group and there's other groups. Are you guys kind of all intermingled, or is that a rivalry thing, or how does that work?
West Side Story, man. Sharks versus Jets.
It's like the Bloods and the Crips,
that too as well. That's a little more aggressive. I was going West Side Story, but go ahead.
No. I think early on, we got really close with the guys from Teal Street, which are just a group of guys and gals like us that love the team. And yeah, I mean, I can't speak for everybody in the group, whether they like everybody or they don't like everybody, but overall, it's I think all the groups pretty much nowadays get along pretty well. There's no reason not to, man. I mean, we got enough to deal with a bad product more times than not on the field. So
you can relate to that. You can come together on that. Speaking of coming together, you guys had the Zoom call during the draft with Fournette.
Yeah.
How unexpected was that? How fun was that? And I'll come back to this question if I need to, but I feel like Leonard, even with the fans, or especially with the fans, might have one of the greatest love-hate relationships, player-to-fan kind of relationships, mostly coming from the fans, than some players that have ever played here. He might be near the top of that list.
Yeah, he can be divisive, I think, for sure, just as far as the opinion of him as a player. I think even the people who maybe are critical of him as a player, like I have been in the past, everybody pretty much values him as a dude or as a social media follow, especially. I mean, he's hilarious. So I think we got a lot of crap for that when he ended up on the Zoom call with us, because a lot of us from the podcast we do have been critical of him as a player. But I think overall the interaction, some of us have had really personal interactions with him in the past. He's always been a really cool, a cool guy and funny as all get out. So how he ended up on the call, Solly, who's a good buddy of ours who does the podcast with Dilla and I, he's had some interactions with Leonard in the past, and he just we were doing a Zoom call with kind of our buddies from our group text for the draft, and Solly shot to him kind of joking around like, hey man, do you want to come into our Zoom call during the draft? Here's the link. And he messaged Solly back and was like, yeah, I'm in. And next thing you know, he shows up on Thursday night of the draft and comes in, and he's just kind of cutting it up with all of us. And I think everybody there was surprised, and then figured he'd only hang out for a few minutes and then dip. But he ended up staying for up until like the 23rd or 24th pick, hanging out with everybody, just sort of shooting the breeze, making fun of us. We were making fun of him. Yeah, it was pretty surreal. And then he kept coming back into the chat the whole weekend throughout the whole draft. So it was a fun experience.
Well, Cap, if I'm not mistaken as well, didn't he get a hold of Jalen Ramsey? And Jalen Ramsey actually found himself in the group as well for a little bit?
Yeah, that was unfortunate for Jalen. Leonard kind of set him up. But yeah, somebody just kind of yelled out in the Zoom call. They were like, "Hey, Leonard, why don't you FaceTime Jalen, or why don't you get Jalen in here?
Yeah.
Why don't you invite Jalen?" And we all thought he'd be like, no, you guys are crazy. Next thing you know, he's FaceTiming him on his phone. So he was with us on like the laptop, and then he starts FaceTiming Jalen on the phone, and he puts Jalen like up to the screen. So Jalen sees like all of us, and we see him. Of course, there was probably some birds flying and some booze going, and Jalen didn't hang out too long, surprisingly. But yeah, that was a little cathartic and pretty funny.
Well, and Cap, and it's kind of crazy, right? Because you said, Leonard Fournette on the field, you can be pretty critical of him, and I think rightfully so. But as a person off the field, he seems like a pretty legit guy, a guy you want to hang out with. Do you find yourself with Jalen Ramsey? It's kind of the exact opposite, where on the field you appreciate what Jalen Ramsey does, who he is as like a football player, but off the field, the way he acts, maybe that doesn't, that's not really kind of your style, I guess you would say?
Yeah, 100%, Austin. I think you kind of hit the nail on the head for me anyway. I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but for me, I'm a big believer that if you give people enough time, they kind of show you and tell you who they are. And I don't mean that just because Leonard has interacted with us, a couple weeks or last week or any other time in the past. I just think you look at what Leonard does, kind of how he conducts himself, when he does meet with people and when he does gather with people. There's tons of stories. And when we had that Zoom call, people were constantly telling us, yeah, I ran into him. What a cool guy. Like, oh, he's so gracious. He gives his time. He was telling us all sorts of stuff that he does off the field that nobody even knows about. So, I kind of got the impression, to be honest with you, that because we were surprised that he was there on Saturday. Who watches the draft on Saturday, let alone regular fan? Or, he's like driving down the road in New Orleans, and he pulls us up on the phone, and all of a sudden pops in the chat. I kind of get the impression that, he probably hangs out mostly with family. I think he's kind of keeping his circle real small, and so the chance to interact and kind of BS with everybody seemed like a welcome thing for him. So. But yeah, I'd say that characterization for me anyway. I can only speak for me, Austin. That's pretty dead on.
Yeah, it's a great. That's why I said love hate, right? I mean, because people don't love the fact that he was picking top 5. People don't love the fact some of the things he's done, maybe inside the locker room, and or has he performed as well as he's a greater running back, as people say. Now Christian McCaffrey getting the big deal, but you can't deny what he does for kids. You can't deny what he does in communities. How real the guy is. Yeah. People love authenticity, that genuine nature of a guy, and Leonard is that. I mean, again, he has the good and bads, but there's something cool about that, and I thought it was pretty neat. The fans got to see that up close and personal. All right, Cap, hope we didn't make you too uncomfortable. We got to run to a break, but...
no, you're good, man. Anytime. You guys know that.
BoldCityBrigade.com, and I'm sure you guys are waiting for the schedule to come out to organize some of these trips, right?
That's the hope. I mean, we'll see. I mean, at this time of year, I'm usually kind of frothing for the schedule to come out to plan these trips, but who knows? So many people will be interested in a trip. Who knows if we'll be able to do big trips? I don't know. But we're in a wait and see mode here. So fingers crossed.
Well, be well. Give our best to your family, and hopefully you'll be able to organize those things. You guys do a great job getting a lot of people on the road, and right here in Jacksonville at the Slab as well. Thanks for taking a few minutes, man.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
All right, that's John Caputo, Bold City Brigade. We call him Bold City Cap. By the way, you can check out their podcast. Bold Take is where you can go and take a listen. They have more on the Leonard stuff, by the way, on the podcast. Well, give it a listen.
And he was right about you, too, man, saying that everyone says that you're a nice guy and you're a hard worker. Literally, and I'm not going to say everything, but in sports media, people talk behind people's backs all the time. They say bad things. Everyone that I've ever talked to about Brett Martineau, he's a nice guy, he's a hard worker. Someone's got to give me some dirt just one time, please.
What they don't know won't hurt me, I guess.
I guess so, man.
Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 coming back right after this.
This is Dave Binion, owner of Zero Res. Here's some good news. Zero Res received some stimulus funding from the government. There are 3 things that I would like to do with this money. First, I want to help slow the spread of COVID-19 by making your home a cleaner, healthier, and safer place to live. Second, I want to keep our employees working so they can provide for their families and keep the economy running. Third, I want to help those in need. So here's my plan. Now through the end of April, Zero Res is offering 25% off all services. That's cleaning carpets, area rugs, tile and grout, upholstery, everything. This also includes stain protectant, pet urine treatments, sealing grout, and granite countertops. 25% off everything. Also, we ask that you submit someone that you know that is in need. Zero Res will clean the carpets in the home of one family in need each day, absolutely free. Help Zero Res fight against the spread of COVID-19. Keep the economy going and help those in need. Give us a call at 287-5727. That's 287-5727. Zero Res, spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Get out there. Yep, that's what we said. Get out there with your resume. It's true, you've heard the news about historic unemployment numbers, but there's positive news out there too. Companies are still hiring. You just have to know where to look. And where you should look is CareerBuilder. CareerBuilder has over 300,000 open jobs listed right now, and most of the positions do not require a college degree or prior experience in the job title.
Today in Jacksonville, CareerBuilder has over 5,000 new job listings. Positions like retail supervisors, customer service representatives, retail salespeople, and registered nurses.
Visit CareerBuilder.com to create a resume for free. Upload a resume, search jobs near you, and let our technology connect you to employers. Now, more than ever, we're working to support the mainstream American workforce and to help you find a job fast. Visit CareerBuilder.com. CareerBuilder, we're building for you.
Alexa, how do I drive more customers into my business?
First, people will need to hear about you.
Okay.
Then you need to be online where they look for you.
Online, huh?
Then you need to be involved in the community. Then you need to...
Whoa. I don't have time for all that. I need to run my business. Alexa, can you help me find someone that can help me with online marketing?
Okay, searching for a local team that can help.
Local Solutions, your local marketing team putting you at the top of mind. Visit JacksonvilleLocalSolutions.com today and let us take your business to the next level so you can get back to running it. Local Solutions, powered by Cox Media Group. Marketing solved.
Tire Outlet, the local name in tires that you know and trust, is now offering mobile installation. Tire Outlet mobile installation is safe, no hassle, quick, and same day at your home or office. A Tire Outlet professional will bring and install your tires right on site while staying safely distanced. The only thing easier than getting new tires with mobile installation is making the appointment. Call 904-600-0089 to reserve an appointment. Tire Outlet is part of the First Coast community and is in this with you.
Say hello to your new secret advertising weapon, your own branded mobile phone number. StarStar Mobile provisions vanity mobile numbers prefixed by ***, providing audiences an easy way to reach your business. Give it a try now by dialing *** Mobile from your mobile phone. That's ** Mobile. When prospective customers see your offline or online ad and they dial your branded ** Mobile number, ** Mobile helps to convert them through text, voice, and online communications. Give it a try now by dialing ** Mobile from your mobile phone. That's ** Mobile.
Our friends at Arlington Toyota are here for you, and they've taken some extra steps to make sure your Arlington experience is safe and convenient. First, and this is a big one, Arlington has now extended its exchange policy to 30 days. That's 30 days you have to love your purchase or exchange it. Now that's peace of mind. They're also going to give you no payments for 90 days. That's 90 days deferred payments on all new and certified pre-owned Toyotas. You can shop over 1,000 vehicles online. And in fact, you can complete your entire purchase 100% online, including choosing your car, trade-in, and even financing. Arlington will then deliver your completely sanitized vehicle to you at your home. All departments at Arlington are open: sales, service, parts, and collision. And they've adjusted their hours to work best for you. Check it out online at arlingtontoyota.com. And if you do come in, know this: Arlington is using hospital-grade sanitizing products and following all CDC guidelines to keep you and their team safe. Find out more at arlingtontoyota.com. And most of all, stay well and know that Arlington is here to help.
J. David Tax Law wants you to know that they are here to help individuals and businesses with tax debt issues during the coronavirus pandemic. Hey everybody, this is Brent Martineau. Tax problems can be extremely stressful, especially now. If you owe a tax debt, there are new programs available that can help reduce or eliminate your IRS or sales tax burden. These programs expire on July 15th, so don't wait. Get the help you need with tax debt, payroll taxes, bank levies, wage garnishments, tax liens, and unfiled returns. With a $1 trillion economic stimulus package on the way, the IRS will be collecting an unprecedented amount of tax debt to fund this historic initiative. At J. David Tax Law, only highly experienced tax attorneys will represent you. Never trust your tax situation to anyone you can't walk in and look in the eye. If you have federal or state sales tax debt, have a sit down with J. David Tax Law. Your first step is a no-cost consultation. Call J. David Tax Law at 904-507-4777 or go to jdavidtaxlaw.com. These can be unsettling times, but CGC Water Treatment wants you to know that they are there for you and your family. CGC Water Treatment has 50% savings for you. Purchase a Premier Softener and save 50% off a K5, Connecticut's premier reverse osmosis system. When the shelves at the stores are empty, it's a great feeling to have purified water right at home. Call 904-694-2242 or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Connecticut dealer.
The virus has hit home, causing many people to lose their jobs, and more are going hungry. Cox Media Group stations are partnering with Feeding Northeast Florida to help source and safely distribute food with a virtual food drive during this crucial time of need. Log on to feedingnefl.org right now and click donate to make a difference by donating what you can to Feeding Northeast Florida. No amount is too small, and if you find yourself not knowing where your next meal will come from, visit feedingnefl.org and click Get Help. Let's come together to help each other out.
Do you hear something in the attic?
Where do you want to eat tonight?
Why won't the lights work? Where should I take my car for engine work?
Do you think I need to get this spot checked out?
Where did these bugs come from?
When are we going to paint the house?
These and hundreds of other questions are still being asked daily. Will the answer be your business or your competitors? Don't leave it to chance. Let Cox Media Group Jacksonville make you the answer to their questions. Contact us at 245-8732 or email buildjax@cmg.com and let's build Jax.
It's times like these that remind us all of how precious life is and how our love and relationships are what really matter. At Diamonds Direct, we believe this. Your love and well-being are truly our passion. That's why we've decided to temporarily close our showrooms, a decision rooted in caution and compassion. But rest assured, we are still here for you. Diamonds Direct's experts are behind the scenes helping customers 24/7, giving you access via text, live chat, email, or our special customer hotline that you can call anytime. Remote shopping options and expert guidance are always available, and our commitment to serve you is stronger than ever. Please visit diamondsdirect.com for more information or to start a remote shopping appointment. At Diamonds Direct, we're honored to be the symbol of your commitment to each other. And while we wait during this uncertain time, we encourage you to be safe, cautious, and courageous as we look forward to better days ahead. It's still your love, our passion, and nothing can change that. Not now, not ever.
One-to-One Financial is Jacksonville's hometown credit union, and we've been helping people improve their lives and start businesses in this community for more than 85 years, longer than any other local institution. Like our name says, we work one-to-one with everyone, no matter their background, and we offer the best rates on loans and savings accounts, free debt counseling, plus no-cost financial planning. Learn more and join us at one-to-one-fcu.org, federally insured by NCUA.
This is a CMG Open for Business report. During these changing times, it's challenging for businesses across North Florida, big and small, but businesses are adjusting to meet your needs in a safe and comfortable way. Here's today's list of businesses that are open for you. Joytel Local Internet, Duval Home Inspections, Timberwalk at Mandrin, Russell Pest Solutions, First Coast Irrigation and Lawn Care. If you're open for business, let us know by emailing us at openjax@cmg.com. Together, we're getting through this.
It's time for some straight talk. The big wireless carriers try to wow you with big deals, but the savings are very little. With Straight Talk Wireless, you get the exact same network as the big guys while saving up to 50%. Right now, you can get the unlimited plan with up to 25 gigs of high-speed data, then 2G for just $45 a month. No contract, no mystery fees, all with nationwide coverage on America's largest and most dependable networks. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
At AutoZone, we're here to help you get what you need, and that won't change. In need of an oil change? Right now you can get 5 quarts of Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic Motor Oil, an STP Extended Life Oil Filter, and a $15 AutoZone gift card by mail or email, all for just $33.99. And if you need something fast, you can get it fast. Your way, whether it's next day delivery or free same-day pickup, in-store or curbside. The choice is yours. Get in the zone. AutoZone. Restrictions and details on AutoZone.com.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jags.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio.
This is Action Sports Jags on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
We praise players for playing through injuries, but then if they don't perform as well as they did prior to the injury, we knock them down. So I think, what we've seen with Laviska is a guy that, what's excited, he's a fun player to get on your team, meaning that you can line him up in the backfield as a running back, put him in at quarterback at the wildcat position, and then he has the ability to, obviously line up outside. The one challenge we have with him, and I told this to Laviska, is how much can you handle? Because we could put a lot on his plate if he can handle it, and have him play multiple positions because we think he's such a great playmaker.
I love the music. Now, I don't even listen to what Doug's saying anymore. I'm just listening to the music.
All I picture was like Doug Marrone on top of like a red Camaro and like a blonde dancing behind him. Like, that's all I can picture, like, in the Zoom call. Didn't even see it. What did he say about Laviska? What was it? Something about being, you can put him anywhere?
By the way, to Coach Marrone and his family, that was not an allegation.
No, I'm saying that's what the song reminded me. The song had the characteristics of that. Doug Marrone's
like a
great man.
1980s video.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Pour some sugar on me, man. Something like that.
Oh, my gosh. But I do not want that to be construed, though. Okay? We did not make allegations.
Sounds like a meme to me.
This was a 1980s music video reference.
Sounds like a meme to me. Yeah, I'm not making allegations.
Man. I tell you, it's interesting listening to Doug talk, and I wouldn't say he's been overly defensive in the last week. He's been asked questions that he's defended players on. Mm-hmm. One was the character stuff last week. I thought he had a very good answer on it. And his main point was Why are we knocking people for having good character? And just because you have good character doesn't mean you can't be a talented football player.
Yeah.
You know, there is that stigma, right? I mean, football's a violent sport. You know, we rip guys that get in trouble. We rip guys that don't act like the way we want them to act. And then we also say, well, you're not tough enough, or we want you to be a little you-know-what crazy on a football field. I mean, it's really a crazy dynamic. You know, we're not real with ourselves the way we look at football players, I think, in the NFL especially. And so there was also that stigma where character guy means Boy Scout, choir boy, captain at the Ivy League school, smart guy, but probably not athletic, you know, all that stuff. That's a stereotype.
No,
I mean, it's become that.
You're absolutely right, man. And, like, some of the greatest teammates that I've had, they were the nicest guys off the field. They did the most things with charity. They were great family men. They were great friends, great brothers in general. But once they got between the white lines, man, they flipped that switch, right? And then all of a sudden, they're animals. They're dogs, man. You can have it both ways. You can be the quote-unquote choir boy off the field. You can do good in the community, come across as a pretty decent guy, and then you can turn on the switch between the white lines and be an all-out psychopath if you wanted to, man. That's just, I mean, that's what football is. Okay, so, like, to say, well, they got a bunch of choir, but, like, that's, no, man. And you know what? They have a bunch of good dudes who I'm sure when they get on the field, they take care of business. Simple as that.
Yeah, well, this guy certainly does. We're going to talk about in a moment. And so he doesn't fit that. But to your point, I always thought Malik Jackson identified that way with me. He was cool guy off the field, fun guy, you know, just kind of like, if he's sitting in here, you know, talking, but if you watched him closely on the field, it looked like he was about to lose it every third play, like get a 15-yard penalty. And so to me, like, and maybe it was some of that time I was doing some sideline stuff or maybe preseason stuff, or I remember an incident here or there, but that's what you want. I mean, you want that. You want the guy that goes all the way to the edge. And you said it, Calais Campbell.
Look at Calais
you think
Campbell,
he's a nice
man.
guy? Now, he kind of laughs and is still jovial on the field sometimes, but that's after he kicks your ass.
Exactly. And I forgot what game it was this past year, but it was like on Jaguars.com, you know, they had like the post-game footage, and they had like a preview before the game. And he's walking out of the tunnel. I forgot what game it was, but like a fan said something to him. Like, not good. Calais said something back, and then all of a sudden, like, boom, like a fire was lit under Calais, and he had probably his best game of the season. And yeah, dude, off the field, I met Calais Campbell a couple times. I talked to him a lot. First time I ever met him was in Puzz's retirement thing. I call him Puzz because I can't say Puzz Luz, whatever. So
Austin with an I.
Yeah, so easy now. So saw him at Puzz's retirement thing, and yeah, dude, Calais Campbell, like, didn't have to be nice to me. Didn't have to be hospitable. He was like, hey, man, if you ever want to come back here, like, yeah, come on back, man. We'd love to have guys like you back. I'm like, dude, I was here for 3 years. It's not a big deal, okay? I have 3 sacks. You had more sacks in one game than I've had my entire career of the Jacksonville Jaguars, but you want to be friends with me. Don't really get that point. But, dude, like, he's this giant. I'm looking up to him. I wasn't right about that. But then you go watch him on the field, man. Go watch him bowl somebody. Go watch him put a guard on his back and then sack somebody, hit a home run with his celebration and let him know about it. Like, that's Calais Campbell to a T. That could be a choir boy, quote-unquote choir boy, to a T. Doesn't matter, man. When he gets on the field, different animal.
Yeah, I will tell you, I've had conversations with Calais before about this. I thought it was fascinating, right? We think he's a pretty darn good football player all the time. Well, he told me one time that there's levels of it. And there are about 3 or 4 times in a year where he will get borderline angry in a game, and he said, "You can't stop me." But he's also told me, like, he's tried to get himself in that phase more, like, every week.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do. Now, he's still a great player when he's not.
Yeah.
But when he's in that mode,
it's got to be an organic mode.
I guess I would say the zone, right? For in a different kind of way.
For sure.
He said, "You can't block me." He's like, "I'm unstoppable." Like, take that Houston game. He probably was mad for some reason, and he had 4.5 sacks or whatever he had. So it's really interesting that even he sees levels of it, but he does turn that switch on. Okay, so that was kind of a long conversation about Doug Marrone defending the character, but now you see Doug Marrone defending kind of the toughness, the injuries, and of players as well. He's going. I find it interesting. This is kind of just a little footnote, but it's just really interesting to me, Doug Marrone, from when he got here to that just crazy hard camp where Mercedes Lewis said, "Hey, stop it." you're not going to get us to the season. They played Tampa in that preseason game and looked like garbage. And we don't have anything left.
Yeah.
Where you're killing us in camp. He was that guy along with Coughlin, but he was that guy. He engineered that camp. He was that mindset, that disciplinarian feel to the flip. And I don't know if it's as complete as a flip as it looks like to us, but it feels like a flip to the 2019 that really had the players back.
Yeah.
And continues to have the players back and almost feels like a player's coach. So it's a little bit of a footnote, but every time I hear Doug talk, I pick up those things. And this one had to do with Laviska Shenault.
Yeah.
And he's battled through some injuries, and he was defending a guy, the injury part of it a little bit. But the across the board on Laviska Shenault is this guy is one heck of a football player. It comes with if he can stay healthy. And, okay, I chalk that up as that's for every football player.
Right?
It's a dangerous sport.
Yeah.
I understand you're going to tell me, well, Marquise Lee couldn't stay healthy. I get it. Listen, some guys are unlucky. Sometimes there's trends. Some guys play really physical, like Shenault. He puts his body on the line a lot.
So here's the thing. First of all, with Shenault, okay, people want to say, well, do you take a chance at him, with that draft pick with all the injury history? Well, guess what? If he didn't get injured at all, he would have been a first-round pick. Jags probably would never have got him in the first place, okay? It's because maybe that he fell a little bit was because of the injury history. Now, yeah, you're taking a chance, but there's a lot of chances in football, man. And here's my point, though. In terms of injuries, Brent, in the league, there's two types. There's the injuries that happen because you didn't approach the offseason and you didn't take care of your body, right? Instead of maybe doing extra mobility work, instead of doing extra strength training, whatever it is, to get your body, to get your business ready for the season, you were out partying, not taking it seriously. That's one type of injury. The other type of injury, it's a football injury, right? It's unlucky circumstances. It reminds me of Marquise Lee. I don't think Marquise Lee was the guy that didn't take football seriously. He wasn't the guy that was out partying. The guy worked hard, I'm sure.
Snake bitten.
Yeah, he's got snake bitten, man. So sometimes you catch a bout of bad luck, and that's the game of football. That's the game of sports. That's the game of life. So with Shenault, man, I'm not going to question what kind of injuries he's had. Were the injuries where he didn't take his body seriously? Was it injuries where maybe he was out partying too much, not taking care of himself? Absolutely not. Because any wide receiver that can squat over 500 pounds, you know what that tells me? He takes care of himself, okay? He values his business. He values his temple, which is his body. So with that being said, I'm not worried about Shenault, having these injuries from the standpoint of he doesn't work hard in the offseason. Now, knock on wood, obviously. Could he get hurt, in his rookie year or up-and-coming seasons? Absolutely, man. Anybody can. But it's not going to happen because he didn't prep his body for it.
And it's fair to say, hey, he might be a little bit more at risk because of the style he plays, the different positions he plays. He'll line up in the backfield sometime, and he loves the contact. There were some crazy numbers at how many times he was solo tackled in his Colorado career. It's not a lot.
He's not making business decisions when it comes to getting tackled. No.
So do they teach him to do that a little bit more at the right spots, or do they just say, oh, go play the way? That's why we drafted you for that reason. But I'm going to assume health because I think that's the only thing you can do, and you keep your fingers crossed on that. How fun will this guy be? And are we putting a little bit too much on him? Because here's the deal. I think Chason has a chance to be a really good player. I think C.J. Henderson has a chance to be a really good player. I'll stop there because the other ones, who really knows, I think it'd be a little pie in the sky on Hamilton and Barch and all those. But the best pick of the draft was Laviska Shenault. Why? Well, because we all love offense. Why? Because it gives Minshew another weapon. Why? Because this offense has, quite frankly, been boring as heck for 12 years that I've been here, for the most part. And this guy has a chance to make it dynamic in a way we have not seen, to go along with the other parts. Maybe a better tight end room. Maybe Leonard Fournette, now Chris Thompson, DJ Chark coming off a Pro Bowl, and hopefully an offensive line that will play better. It's part of the equation, but he's different. So I feel like, with all that said, myself included, by the way, I'm in this category, I'm almost putting too much on the guy coming into this rookie season. And I've also seen when the Jags have put too much on a guy in the past, it hasn't worked out, offense and defensive end, even though this guy has done a lot. in his career. And keep in mind, Marrone said on the phone when he called him and told him he was drafted, and he also said it just on that Good Morning Football clip as well, get in the playbook, know the playbook. We want to use you all around. This guy's got a lot on his mental plate this offseason to be ready to make the Jags dynamic immediately.
Here's why there's so much optimism, it seems like, for Shenault. Maybe even more than C.J. Henderson, maybe even more than Chazon. It's from the standpoint of the position that he plays, right? If I go back to the 2019 draft, I'll be honest with you, man. I follow the game of football pretty close. I can't tell you what kind of season Byron Murphy had, okay? I can't tell you what kind of season Trayvon Mullen had. I can't tell you what kind of season Sean Murphy Bunting had, second-round pick out of Central Michigan. I can't do it, man. Maybe they did good. Maybe they didn't. I have no idea. But I can tell you this. A.J. Brown had a damn good year. DK Metcalf had a damn good year. Deebo Samuel, saw it firsthand, had a damn good year. Okay? It's because of the stats. It's because of you see it with your own two eyes. C.J. Henderson, is he going to be good? Is he going to be, decent, average, mediocre? We don't know yet. But I'll tell you this. I mean, they're probably going to throw the ball his way, and we'll see what happens from that. But all we know is with Shenault is, listen, if this guy averages 8-9 catches a game for over 100 yards, that's good. Like, the wide receiver position, you know who's good, and you know who's kind of okay? The corner position, it's a little more like, well, they're not throwing to him. Do they respect him that much? Do they not to see him? So, like, with positions and with Shenault, the reason why there's so much expectation, so much intrigue, is because he plays the wide receiver position.
How do they use him?
Yeah.
And how will Jay Gruden use him? You have DJ Chark as a reliable threat. You've got your tight ends that some can block, some can get out there in the passing game. I understand that. Just you got Fournette. You know what he can do. I think Minshew's going to play out of the shotgun quite a bit this season, and I think they're going to put the ball in his hands. Chris Thompson come in on third down. D.D. Westbrook is a guy that will run in motion and do some things, and you can kind of have some fun with. Shenault is so different in the sense that when I think of a guy that can do a lot of different things, I think of speed. So I think of Tyreek Hill, where you could, if you wanted to, and get super creative, and they might even do this at times, throw him back in the backfield and do something. Run the jet sweep, right?
Yep.
Do a lot of those things. I also think of maybe like a guy like Percy Harvin, who had a little bit more of both. Kind of, he had the speed, but also he could play physical when he needed to.
Yeah.
Now, you got to be a little careful if Chenault's 40 time at the combine, and he was playing, he ran it with a core injury, and it was like 4.58. So he's not, but bottom line is he's not lightning fast. I mean, he's not Tyreek Hill. He's not even Percy Harvin from a speed standpoint, I don't think. But he plays physical. That's why I'm having a little bit more of a challenging time kind of thinking about what they'll do with him, because in the NFL, being physical is a little bit different than being physical in college, isn't it?
Do you want the comparison right now that I think?
Give it to me.
Deebo Samuel. Okay? Deebo
Did
Samuel.
they do a lot with him?
Oh, yeah, man. Like the jet sweeps, the screens. I mean, like Deebo Samuel, listen, there's a reason why Emmanuel Sanders went to New Orleans. Okay? There's a reason why that, the pass happy, well, I guess it's going to be run happy now, but there's a reason why the offensive minded Coach Shanahan realized that, you know what? We don't need Emmanuel Sanders anymore. We're all set. And the big reason is because of Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel last year was kind of like the jack of all trades. Dude did everything. He blocked. He caught the screens. He ran the jet sweeps. I think he kind of lined up in the backfield sometimes. Maybe got some handoffs. Like the guy did everything. So that's what I can picture for Shenault. Because once again, I've talked about before, when the implementation of the Wildcat happened, whenever it was, man, it was probably 15 years ago now.
Dolphins, right?
Happened with Miami. But Gruden was right on board with that. Gruden was one of the next guys to follow suit. In Cincinnati, this was, by the way. And Gruden ran it to a T, okay? And he had success with it. Not saying they're running a Wildcat formation with Shenault or anything like that, but I'm just saying when it comes to thinking outside the box, seeing exotic looks, Gruden's the guy for that. So with Shenault, once again, I always go back to defensive coordinators' game planning. If you're going to game plan for Shenault, you got a game plan for everything, man. Just like Deebo Samuel. Is he going to get the jet sweeps? Is he going to be in a Wildcat formation? Is he going to, have these screens, the go routes, everything? You have to plan for Shenault because I think the guy can do it all. And if Jay Gruden can use him right, which I think he can, he could have a pretty successful rookie campaign.
I forget where I read it, but this is a great illustration of Laviska Shenault. Okay? Just get the sense of, you don't have to be a huge fan of Fournette or whatever, but he is 1 inch taller and 1 pound less than Leonard Fournette.
That's ridiculous.
That is.
I had no idea.
That is a great illustration.
That's ridiculous,
right?
Yeah.
Like, whoa, at the receiver spot. The play you're telling me plays, and I'm trying to visualize. Okay, how will they use it? And again, I am just all for creativity out of this Jags offense. Oh my gosh! I mean,
Brent,
just give me 2 guys running in motion, and I will
haven't
probably
seen a
throw
screen
a party.
pass in what, 6 years now? I'm talking about a screen pass to the running back behind the line of scrimmage.
It's been a long time,
man. It's been a fortnight and a half.
It's been unbelievable. They have to be 33rd in the league in screen passes. But early in the, we have to be honest with ourselves. We praised DiFilippo a little bit early, like the first month of the year, because we saw some of that.
Yeah,
we saw D.D. Westbrook kind of running back and forth, and just some of it. Like, we were begging for it, and we got a little bit of it.
Yeah.
So how will I think Jay Gruden will do a lot of that stuff. But when you're mixing in some of the plays and you're talking about that, like, will they line them up in the Wildcat? Will they line them? I think they said like the F tight end position, whatever that would be. Does that make sense? I think that's what Marone kind of said. Would that be like that H-back kind of spot?
I mean, I assume in his system, F means flanker. So flanker would be it'd be the slot guy, but he's kind of playing down more towards a tight thing. So you can kind of, so you can down block, you can get passes,
that's what
you can get screens.
Yeah. And so,
assuming that's what that means, I have no idea.
So you can play him all over the receiving formation.
Yeah.
But I'm almost thinking this, okay? Minshew's out of the shotgun because I think that's what we'll operate a little bit more out of. And you get Shenault next to him, off his right hip, say. And, then you just one of those pitch plays where you just send it out to him on the right side and let him operate in space, and maybe a one-on-one with a corner or a safety, and you're okay physically trying to handle that and enough speed to not be chased down by the linebacker. Maybe, so those are the kind of plays that haven't really seen a lot of that. Haven't had a guy like Fournette can't get out there quick enough for that. Fournette doesn't have the wiggle enough for that. The Jags haven't really had a lot of that. And so just a simple play like that, just a simple design that will throw a wrinkle, and what you can work off a play like that from a misdirection standpoint, a decoy standpoint, those kind of things excite me with this guy.
Well, and it should, because last year, listen, there's a laundry list of problems with that Jaguars offense last year in the red zone, but also you can make an argument for converting third downs, right? Those 3rd and 1s, those 3rd and 2s, those 3rd and 4s, just for whatever reason, the Jags couldn't get it done. When you have a guy like Shenault, who, if you give him the ball in tight windows and tight spaces, well, you mentioned it, Brent. The guy's as big as Leonard Fournette, okay? And the guy runs with bad intentions. The guy does not have the mentality of a wide receiver. He does not make business decisions. He tries to run through you. He doesn't try to avoid contact. He embraces it. That's not a wide receiver, okay? That's a beast, but that's what you want. But I'm saying is when it's 3rd and 3, when it's 3rd and 4, and you have him blaring out like that, you give him the ball, and it's one-on-one, I like my chances of him lowering his shoulder and picking up those 3 to 4 yards for the first down.
Well, here's the deal, too. I'm going to just bring up Deebo Samuel real quick because Josh jumps in, and he's got a good thought here. He said, scary thing is Visca is actually a little bigger than Deebo. His trunk is serious business. He's going to break so many tackles. And he's right because, again, Laviska Shenault, I think 6'1", 227, I think is the number on him. 6 foot 215 for Deebo Samuel. Okay. So there it is. Got that.
But keep
10,
in mind, though,
pounds.
his name is Deebo, though. So add a couple pounds and add a couple things for that.
I'm looking at his season last year, and this is a good illustration. 14 rushing attempts, 159 yards.
I thought it would have been more than that.
Well, you got to remember, you saw a lot. This might have been just regular season, too.
I got you.
But
towards the
end, he
Super
really
Bowl,
cranked it up.
Yeah, Super Bowl.
He was the MVP of the Super Bowl, by the way, 3/4 into that thing.
Yeah.
But he had 3 touchdowns from the running spot, averaged 10 yards a carry, to your point, along the 31. And then he caught 57 balls for 800 yards and had another 3 touchdowns. I mean, would you sign up for those numbers right now for this rookie?
Yes.
Right?
All day. All day.
So, hey, here's the thing. Kyle Shanahan is a very good offensive mind. I think does a very good job with his offensive weapons. I don't get into the genius category and all that stuff, but he does a very good job of what's there and utilizes them very well, I think. Jay Gruden, I hope, can do the same.
Yeah.
Because if you get me 71 touches for almost 1,000 yards and 6 scores for Laviska Shenault, I think you got a chance on offense to be pretty good.
You're not even lying, man. And I checked out the Super Bowl stats from Deebo Samuel. I thought he had more rushes than he had 3 rushes for 53 yards. I thought it was more than that, but still pretty impressive. 3 rushes for 53 yards. So
All right, we're going to take a break. More of our celebration of fans, Jags fans particularly, and even more specific, Bold City Brigaders, if you will. So it's their day, and we answer the most important question that's maybe been asked on this show. And you're all wondering, no, it's not if he's white or black.
I'm curious, though, man.
Who the heck is E. Dilla? Simple as that. It's next on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
A mild day today under sunny skies with a high this afternoon around 80 degrees and cool tonight down into the lower 50s. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax from the First Alert Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
Hello?
Hey, boss.
Why are you calling me?
Well, I was going to come over, but I thought I should be practicing social distancing.
Oh, that's responsible of you.
Thanks. So I'm calling because I want to read you this new article in the Crooks of Us newsletter.
If it's about Safe Touch security, I don't want to hear it.
Boss, you want to hear this? The headline reads, Safer at Home with Safe Touch Security.
Safer at home with Safe Touch?
Yeah. It says, with people staying home more than ever these days, Safe Touch Security is the answer for peace of mind at home.
Yeah. The guaranteed response time, the two-way communicator, the video monitoring.
Yeah, and more.
Great. So what you're telling me is, whether they're home or not, the Crooks of Us motto is stronger than ever. Stay away from Safe Touch houses.
It's written in stone, boss.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Let's say you have ED, male impotence. Or maybe you suffer from PE and can't satisfy your partner. If you have either or both of these embarrassing conditions, Prime Men's Medical Center has the solution. Meet Dr. Rabinski, a specialist in men's health.
If you're experiencing ED or PE, Prime Men's Medical Center has custom blended medications designed just for you. There's no pain and no surgery. If you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or prostate issues, not a problem. If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, Prime Men's Medical Center has patients lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer. You'll see results on your first visit, guaranteed, or your visit is free. And best of all, it's affordable.
For a private consultation with our highly skilled physicians, call 904-206-8105. We guarantee that you'll see results on your first visit, or there's no charge for your consult. Call Prime Men's Medical Center now at 904-206-8105. That's 904-206-8105.
Tire Outlet, the local name in tires that you know and trust, is now offering mobile installation. Tire Outlet mobile installation is safe, no hassle, quick, and same day at your home or office. A Tire Outlet professional will bring and install your tires right on site while staying safely distanced. The only thing easier than getting new tires with mobile installation is making the appointment. Call 904-600-0089 to reserve an appointment. Tire Outlet is part of the First Coast community and is in this with you.
Many medicines used to treat colds and flu contain acetaminophen, a pain reliever and fever reducer found in hundreds of over-the-counter and prescription medicines. But taking too much or more than one medication containing acetaminophen per day can damage your liver. So always read the label and don't take acetaminophen if you drink 3 or more alcoholic drinks every day. To learn more, visit fda.gov/OTC pain info. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Food and Drug Administration.
When your car needs service, you want a safe place to go. That place is Arlington Toyota. Here's how Arlington has enhanced safety in their service department to keep you and their team of technicians safe. You can drop off your vehicle and Arlington will give you a solo ride home, so you don't have to wait on site. Arlington will even pick up your vehicle from you and return it free through April 30th. And speaking of sanitized, Arlington is cleaning the steering wheel, center consoles, and gear shift with sanitizing wipes as an added precaution. And if you come in, Arlington has enhanced its cleaning measures using hospital-grade sanitizing products and cleaning high-touch surfaces every hour. They've also increased the space between seats in their lounges and cashier lines to maintain the safe 6-foot distance recommended by the CDC. Oh, and if you need parts, you can order them and pay for them online, and Arlington will deliver them for free until April 30th as well. The service, parts, and collision departments at Arlington Toyota are open, and they've adjusted their hours to best serve you. Get the latest updates or schedule your appointment at arlingtontoyota.com today. And most of all, stay well and know that Arlington is here for you.
Hi everyone.
everyone. I'm Kim, Client Relations Manager here at Reliant. Reliant has always been focused on the customer experience. Reliant has been a leader in the industry when it comes to using technology to connect with our clients whenever needed. So while everything around us continues to change and other contractors are scrambling to adapt to the new normal, Reliant remains steadfast, ready to serve our clients. Our client coordinators are available to discuss your roofing, solar, and hurricane shutter projects. So give us a call today.
Jackson This Together is not just a hashtag. We believe it, and we are living it, all of us. Hey everyone, this is Brent Martineau. These may be uncertain times, but we can still lift each other up, share a laugh, a smile, and even a shout out. If you would like to recognize someone, maybe a healthcare worker, a truck driver, someone who works for a local restaurant, or maybe it's someone's birthday, call ** 690. Leave a message and we will share it on ESPN 690. That's ** 690. Give it a call and help make somebody's day.
Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jax.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
I want to welcome in Greg Olson. Greg, could you come in and tell the fellas what you're all about?
Coach, thanks so much. So excited to be here.
Yeah.
Russ, I love you. I mean, I love you.
You too, Greg.
I mean, I love you. Let's make a baby, you know? Shotty, just want to let you know I came here to catch some balls. You know, what I did mostly for Carolina is I drew up all my own plays. So I'm going to be adding a lot to the playbook. This one I just drew up. It's called 90 Go Flywheel Kanye Starburst. We're going to be
I like it, Greg. I like it.
So let's get that into the playbook. Remember, no max protection. Don't stick me back there for max protection.
Will Ferrell.
No special teams either.
Jumping in.
Yeah.
On Seattle Seahawks Zoom meeting on the virtual period. That was a good little drop-in, so you can check that out on social media if you haven't seen it yet. It was pretty entertaining. And speaking of entertaining, we are having a celebration of the fans, really. Bold City Brigade, but all Jags fans and in general as we celebrate sports and local sports on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 the last month or so. We'll continue to do it all the way into the summer with the various teams. And we thought this was a good time to celebrate the fans a little bit and bring in the brigade because we're right in the middle of the draft and the schedule coming out. And then we got to wait a few months for some football. But this is like the most important segment we've ever had on the show in a lot of ways, Austin Lane.
Absolutely.
I have no idea where this guy came from. Mm-hmm. The biggest mystery is he white or black?
That's mine.
I think the bigger mystery is who the heck is he really? Is it Dave Caldwell, Tad Dickman, Doug Marone's kid?
Yeah.
Who is E. Dilla?
Yeah.
And we're about to find out on Action Sports
Get to the bottom of it.
Let's find out right now. E. Dilla, is that what I should call you? What's up, man?
What's up, guys? How are you? You can call me Dilla. My name's Eric. You can call me Eric also. But in the Twitter streets, they call me Dilla, so that's what we run with.
And sometimes the Dilla Cole.
Cap dubbed me that probably week 3, week 4 last year when the Jalen stuff was going down, and it's stuck around.
You are becoming or have become somewhat of an icon.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool. I don't really know how it. Well, I shouldn't say I don't know how, but it just kind of came out of nowhere. All like you were saying, literally overnight, it just kind of popped up, and here we are.
Dill, I got a question for you here, man. Your go-to playlist, does it feature Mumford & Sons or Kendrick Lamar?
Kendrick for sure.
Black then, Brent. He's black. All right. So that one's out of the way. Fantastic. Now let's go on to the hard-hitting questions, Brent. Back to you.
Back to me.
Back to you.
Who's your source?
It's Frank Frangie. No, I'm joking. It's totally not.
Oh, hit the dump button.
Hey, dump that.
Hit the dump button.
Who the heck is that guy?
Yeah, never heard of him.
Big jokes. No, big jokes.
That's not funny. But so, by the way, the black or white question comes up a lot, doesn't it?
It does. It's almost like a shtick, I guess.
Because I think most people know you're white, but
yeah.
Your AVI, is that what we call it?
He's calling Abby, man. You're going to call him AVI. Just call it
Abby
Avatar.
for sure.
Yeah.
The picture?
AVI, yeah.
The picture?
Yeah.
AVI. Yeah.
You know what, man?
Is that what we call an Avi? Avatar.
It's short for Avi.
Yeah.
You call Instagram. You call the gram Instagram.
Netflix
so
and chill.
you should know this stuff. Exactly. You're learning, man. You're learning.
What is that picture from?
That picture is like what we'll call him like a C-list rapper named Haji Beats, and he's just holding up a water bottle, and that's all it is.
And is any reasoning why you went there?
Probably like 2010, 12, like when I was getting involved in Twitter. He was, I watched a show called Loiter Squad a lot, and he was just one of the guys. He runs like Tyler, the Creator's crew. Yeah, Odd Future back in the day.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of where it came from. Big fans of all of them, and I went with the lesser known of the group.
So here's the thing, if I follow along on your Twitter a little bit, you're a Twins fan, right?
I am a Twins fan. Yeah.
That's how I've been stalking you, man. What I really, I just realized this today. I forgot. But when I thought of having you guys on like a month ago when we were going to do these kind of things, I was like, I'm going to try to call Rocco Baldelli and get him on.
Sure.
While Dilla's on.
Yeah.
Because I knew he was a Twins fan.
Okay.
But then I forgot all about it.
Well,
why are you a Twins fan?
Oh, man. Okay, let's talk baseball. I was going to talk about Odd Future. But okay, go ahead, Dilla. Go ahead, man. You got it.
Yeah, no, my mom's side of the family is from Minnesota. Spent a lot of my times in the summer up there, and baseball's happening in the summer. Usually when my tournaments would end in town, we'd head up there for our summer vacation, and we would hang out with the family and watch a bunch of Twins baseball. So that's just kind of how it came about.
All right, but you're a Jacksonville guy.
I am Jacksonville, born, raised, all the way through.
All right, Dilla, old school Tyler, the Creator, new school Tyler, the Creator, or both?
Both. I still go back and listen to the old stuff, but I think the newer Tyler, the Creator, where he's kind of reaching musical heights, he's more expressive. I really enjoy his last two albums a ton. So.
See, and I agree with you here. And Brent, don't worry, Brent, go ahead and use a bathroom break if you want to,
I'm
man.
looking up Avatar.
I know you're all good, man. See, I'm only going to make this one argument. I like the old school Tyler, the Creator, because it was like the underground. It was the cool thing. He was kind of speaking out against everything. And now, the new school stuff, it's more of just kind of the R&B kind of Drake-ish. And I get there's a demand for that. So I'm not knocking him whatsoever. I mean, he's got the style and everything. But me personally, I'm more of the old school guy. Other question, quick. Thoughts on Earl Sweatshirt?
Earl, I like older Earl more than I like newer Earl. His new stuff is really weird and out there, but Doris and that kind of stuff is really in my wheelhouse.
I got you. Brent, your thoughts on Earl Sweatshirt?
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Okay, you're all good, man.
I am so lost right now.
Wolfgang, Brent, come on, man. You're all right.
I'm so
you're
lost,
good.
but
you're
that's
good.
okay. So I'm a little disappointed, by the way, man. You knew you were coming on the show. You couldn't hold off the Jags on announcing Chris Thompson and break it here on the show for us?
I was actually hoping to do that on the show, and then Chris Fowler had to ruin that moment.
Yeah,
so
my goodness.
It is what it is. It's cool. I knew that he had been on their list for a while, but I'm glad they signed him. I think it's a great signing.
You are you're like the local Schefter, and quite frankly, I'm not sure I like it.
Yeah, I'm I like serving ice cream. I got scoops.
Nicely said.
No, I said that wouldn't have been funny.
Oh, no, man. I would have applied for a new job. I'm not going to sit next to you when you say that every single day. There's no way. But, okay, so Dilla, like Brent just said, man, we're not going to ask your sources, but you have.
No, we are.
Okay, well, you ask them then. But you have sticks in the fire, okay? There's sources out there, whoever they are, that they tell you something, and you report on it, and it's usually factual. It's usually true. But it's not just a Jacksonville Jaguars thing. I mean, you've called other things with other teams as well. And my question to you is, I get it's all in good fun because, everyone knows you as Dilla, and you're this guy in Jacksonville who breaks the news, but you could probably be somebody, man. You probably go global if you wanted to, because obviously the things that you say come to fruition half the time, or even more than half the time, probably 80% of the time. So do you ever think about trying to, monetize what you do and try to, put it on the world stage for people to see? Or do you kind of enjoy being that underground guy where it's you're just a good old guy in Jacksonville and you have fun with it?
Yeah, I do like being the underground guy. The first moment it becomes a job, it's something I don't want to do, So I just will continue to work my regular Monday through Friday job and have a good time on Twitter in between.
Yeah, you certainly do that. E. Dilla with us. We can call him Eric. You can also call him Dilla, or the Dilla Cole, says Bold City Cap. hanging out with us on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 as we really are just trying to figure out who the heck he is. How long has this been now? About, what would you say, 2-3 years worth?
Yeah, little stuff here and there. The first draft picks I started breaking were TJ Yeldon was the first one because they were trying to go back up in the draft to get Gordon. He ended up going, and the Jags shut down shop for the night, came back around too, and took Yeldon. That was the first time I ever had insight. So about then.
Have you kept track of how many things you've been right and wrong about?
Not tally marks, but like Austin said, 80%'s a pretty accurate number.
That's pretty good field goal percentage.
Here's the thing. I've said this. I've direct messaged Dilla before.
Okay.
And I said, this is very unfair because if I go out there and say something and I miss on that 20%, you guys are going to roast me.
Of course.
But if he goes out there and just throws it out there, he's fine.
That's because he's the king of the underground. He's underground, man. You're not in the underground.
It's unfair. It's his unfair
in the corporate
playing
office.
surface.
You're in the corporate office, man. It is. It's what you signed up for, man. You can't be mad at that.
Quite frankly, we can throw anything we want against the wall anymore, and we're not held accountable.
That's a good point. Well, especially on this show, man. Especially on this show. Yeah.
Is there some pressure on you now? I mean, I know you got your DMs, if you will, really fill up on occasion.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely. They get pretty busy. There's pressure in the sense of people want to know. People are eager. They come to me for stuff. It's not as much of on my time anymore. But at the same time, I don't really care what people think in the sense of if I do get that 20% wrong. I just tell people what I'm told, and it started out as me doing it just to shed light on the situation. You know what I mean? Just people want more, especially the behind-the-scenes information on transactions and what's going on in the locker room. So that's how it started. I do, like you said, I'm not right all the time, but that's just what I'm being told, and my guys who tell me stuff are very accurate. So when I hear something that I think is worth sharing, I like to share it.
Just gave us a clue, by the way. He said, my guys. Because I was going to ask you, if one person gets fired. See, the worst thing about when there's new regimes is guys get fired and you lose your sources.
Yeah.
You know, I actually think that helped me here in Jacksonville back around 2012 when the team got sold.
Yeah.
I had built some relationships with some of the, when Mr. Weaver owned the team.
Yeah.
But when the new ownership came in, all the kind of the old guard in town had to start from scratch.
Yeah.
And so kind of the new guy in town was me. I'd been there about 4 years.
Sure.
And so you get to kind of build relationships on the same playing field as everybody else for the most part. So from my industry standpoint, I was like, that was actually a big break to actually change ownership and kind of get new blood in there, if you will.
Well, and it's hard for me because Dan Call doesn't return my calls.
Yes.
So and he cut me. The least he can do is give me a little snip of some interesting news.
Yeah.
Can't even do that for me.
So you mean Dilla doesn't return your calls?
Well, exactly. Well, it might be Dilla then too, man. I mean, all I have is Tony Khan. We're just talking wrestling, man. So yeah.
So, but my point is, when you change regimes, coaching staffs, whatever else be, you lose people because staffs change. If you fired one person in there, would you be in trouble, Dilla?
I wouldn't be in trouble. I have a couple guys who are, I guess it's better to call them national. They know what's going on around the league. That's kind of how I knew about Dak's numbers, Tom Brady being down to Tampa Bay and the Chargers. Amari Cooper, when he didn't get his initial deal and they were like he might test free agency, but he got that deal right before the tag window closed. That's not coming out of the Jaguars building, you know what I mean? So sometimes I know they get their feathers ruffled down there, but it's not coming from down there, so I kind of wish they would chill.
Yeah, well, because it's a good call, man, because now you've become a little bit of a thing, so people think information is leaking out of the building, especially when Tom Coughlin's around. He doesn't like that, especially, and nobody likes that. I mean, I can tell you I've texted a thought or two, and a response could be like, what?
Yeah.
Huh? How do you know that, or what are you talking about? So that's a good call to have more of the national. That's how the national guys make it, too, is they have more league sources, not just specifically team sources. You've got to appreciate what Schefter and Rappaport do, though, right? Just think about you on steroids.
Yeah. When was it? I guess, the first wave of free agency, I was getting so much information, and I didn't know, what was not necessarily true or not true, but what was concrete, and stuff changed so fast that I think I even tweeted it that day. I was like, man, these guys are like insane just how they can handle it and get it out and be right about it.
Brent alluded to it a little bit, but, obviously when you tweet some stuff out, it can rub, teams, organizations the wrong way. What is the most aggressive, I guess, cease and assist thing that you've got either in your DMs or on Twitter or maybe just a letter in general in the mail, an old school approach where they're like, man, you better stop what you're doing? Or has that even happened?
Nothing like formal or informal from the top. But like I hear about signings and stuff, I hear about how people are upset. So just recently, like to the draft, I tweeted a GIF of who I thought they might target at 20, and I know that made people upset. And I was just like, that's me being a fan, having an opinion on a player who's mocked to that range in the draft. So that one wasn't even me with insight, and it ruffled feathers. So it is kind of funny how it all plays out.
Yeah, Dilla with us here on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. He is getting this is an interrogation right now for Dilla. You must get these kind of questions all the time, though.
Yeah, all the time. So where I work, there's a couple execs, and they started talking to their buddies that, there's someone at work who knows some stuff. And somehow they all know who I am from Twitter as well. And that's when it kind of was like, Mr. Krabs meme, like, this is insane.
It's really good stuff. It's fun stuff. And you just did say something you've got to be almost careful just to tweet as a fan. Anything you say now, people kind of believe to be fact.
Yeah, and I like going against the grain as a fan. I don't mind like a casual argument, so I do have to really be careful about what I'm saying these days.
All right, we're going to let you go in a minute. Austin had some football questions for you. Before I do that,
I really don't.
I thought you were. You want to test his football knowledge?
No, he's pretty solid, man. I think he's good.
How big of a football fan are you? A Jags fan are you? Die hard, going to games? Are you done with them right now because they haven't won in forever, other than 2017? Where are you at in terms of your fandom?
I'm diehard still. I'll probably be diehard forever. I met Cap and all those dudes at the draft in 2013 in New York. And we've been pretty tight since. Yeah. Yeah, you definitely did. You shot a couple little shorts with us and whatnot while we were waiting outside. But I'm all in. I go to 2 or 3 away games a year on top of all the home games. So as long as they're here, I'm there. It's unquestionable.
Yeah, good stuff.
I'm all the way in.
So
yeah.
Do you? I mean, are you? Did you play football? Could you scout football? Do you break it down to that degree?
No, I played baseball growing up actually. Football fan growing up. My dad is an Alabama fan, so growing up, we watched a lot of college football. I remember the first Jaguar game I have memory of watching beginning to end was Bottlegate actually in Cleveland. Yeah. So I don't know if it was the football moment or just because of what happened at the end of the game that locked me in. But I can break it down. I watch it all the time. I don't watch this, the players, the prospects. I watch just a ton of football on Saturday, and what I pull from that, I apply to who I want them to draft. But I know what's going on. I get the schemes and stuff. Not to someone like Austin who's played the game and knows the ins and outs, but I'm pretty well versed, I'd say.
Yeah, listen, you're an Alabama guy, but you did not like my Trevon Diggs mock.
I did not. I was there. I didn't want hardly half of those dudes this year. I'm pretty honest with them too. Just like I am with the Jaguars. I'll tell you straight up if I like them or don't like them, and I'm not right when it comes to that kind of stuff all the time, but those are just my opinions as a fan.
Bill, you might have already said this, but what are your ties to Minnesota exactly?
Family. So like I said, yeah, I got family up there. Spent a lot of time in the summer.
I was going to say, so what part of Minnesota?
Have you ever seen Grumpy Old Men?
I have.
Wabasha, Minnesota?
Yeah.
Old Slippery's? That's where the family's at.
All right, so I got a question for you. Does the term Juicy Lucy mean anything to you? And if it does, is it underrated or overrated?
Underrated.
Okay. Fair enough. Quick other question, too. So regarding the whole Zoom thing that went down with Leonard Fournette, I assume you were there for that, correct?
I sure was.
Okay.
I hosted the meeting.
Oh, there you go, man. So you're the mastermind behind everything. So with that being said, what current or past Jacksonville Jaguars do you want to get on another Zoom meeting, try to pick their brain a little bit and see what's up with them?
Past or present, I'll probably we'll stick right here in. Man, that's a tough one. We'll do present, and because he's still technically a Jaguar, let's get Ngakoue in there and let's figure this thing out.
I like it.
Ngakoue would be good.
It'd be fantastic.
That would be good.
Yeah.
If anybody could get Ngakoue unfiltered right now,
oh man,
that would be really good.
Yeah.
By the way, will we ever see some of that Fournette kind of leak? I think we might have seen a clip, but not much of it.
Yeah, we have clips of it, but our buddy kind of tweeted it out as we didn't really think he should have, so he kind of deleted it pretty quick. I don't know if it'll be out for mass viewing. I don't have a problem showing people here and there what happened.
Yeah.
But because of like how my account's through work, I wasn't able to record the meeting, so it kind of left me hanging. In terms of like actual content, but I do have some phone recordings of it. It's pretty good time.
All right. Here's the last thing for you. It might be a little. I'm going to actually piggyback. Let's see if you can get one of the two or maybe both. The guy in the draft, the Jaguars wanted but missed on, that you maybe heard about.
Wanted and missed on. I mean, Derek Brown was their guy because they didn't think they'd get to Okudah. Okudah was their guy.
Yeah.
So that's why you ended up seeing C.J. Henderson, going off the board.
And I would suspect Jonathan Taylor was really close.
Yeah, that was
right?
There was. Yep, they talked about him for sure. I didn't think he was going to make it to our spot in the second round, but I know that the Jaguars tried to move up 3 times, and the asking price was just too rich. So when people ask, why did they draft 12 players? Well, it's not for the lack of wanting to move up. They just never really felt the value was worth it.
Yeah, and I think some of the articles that came out were really interesting, right? They could have moved back with Tampa, but they would have lost that trade on paper from like the analytics of it, giving up the 4th and the 7th or whatever that Tampa was going to do. So it does come down to value after a bit. Last one for you. Something you heard through the pipeline in the last few years that never came to fruition, but you wish it did. That's a tough one to put you on the spot with, probably.
Yeah, man, trying to think.
Like
something that didn't happen.
Or they might have been interested in a quarterback you thought would trend that way, or anything?
Nah,
nothing
really that crazy. Not for the Jaguars. No, I can think of stuff for other teams, and not really that I would have liked to see happen, but
that might have
I
happened.
think would have been cool to happen. Yeah, like OBJ and Houston and Amari Cooper signing with the Colts instead of staying in Dallas. It was close, man. That would have been problematic for us down here in Jacksonville.
Yeah, we'll root for that one not to happen. And thankfully he stayed in Dallas. E. Dilla, thanks, man. We appreciate you jumping on here and sharing some of, what the heck you're all about and who the heck you are.
Hey, man, no problem. Thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it.
You got it. That's E. Dilla. E_Dilla on Twitter. And listen, I can't deny it. The guy breaks a ton of news.
Yeah.
I mean, he's beaten us to it.
Yeah.
A lot. And I will be honest, I've said this to him before. I'm like, I'll be on to something, and he'll throw it out there. And I'm like, I just can't throw it out there. I'm not comfortable throwing it out there. So I've had that discussion with him before.
I'll tell you what, man, I'm really impressed because he's a big Odd Future fan. To set the scene for you real quick, Odd Future is a rap collective, basically, that came out around 2008, 2009. I was a big fan of them coming up, especially Tyler, the Creator, to kind of see what they sing, what they rap about. My teammate, you remember a guy by the name of Nate Collins, defensive tackle from Virginia? Yeah. Nate Collins heard me listening to Odd Future in the locker room, and he tried to get me to call the NFL helpline to talk to some people because he thought what I was listening to was like devil music, basically. So he was a little concerned about me for that, but I just like the beats, man. I just like having fun. It was nothing that serious, but that's Odd Future. Cool, big Odd Future guy?
No.
You guys are so young. Oh, you're old and you're young.
That thing went way over my head or under my feet or something, that conversation. Good, but glad you guys were on the same page.
Yeah.
Thanks to E. Dilla for stopping in on an Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 Friday. Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau. We at Action Sports Jax hope you and your family are doing well. Coronavirus has forced a lot of people to choose between buying food and keeping the lights on. Whether you're one of these people or not, we're all living through this pandemic together. We've partnered with Feeding Northeast Florida for a virtual food drive so you can help without leaving your house. To donate now, go to ESPN690.com.
Hello?
Hey, boss, how's it going?
Hanging like a hermit.
I hear you. Hey, how's your mom doing? I know you're worried because she lives alone and all.
She's good, thanks. Every night she's getting dinner delivered. And every night she answers the door with her SafeTouch security app.
Ah, no contact delivery.
Yeah, and SafeTouch cameras are encrypted with all kinds of safeguards.
Yeah, you don't see headlines about SafeTouch systems getting hacked.
Exactly. Can't believe I'm saying it, but I just feel better knowing she has SafeTouch. She's got her emergency buttons, her two-way communicator, the guaranteed response time.
Boss, sounds like you have a love-hate relationship with SafeTouch.
It's complicated. Because being crooks and all, we still gotta stick to the Crooks Are Us motto. Stay away from SafeTouch houses. Yeah, the struggle is real.
crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
If you have a specific medical problem, you call a specialist. Broken leg? Call an orthopedist. Cataracts? Call an ophthalmologist. At Prime Men's Medical Center, our doctors specialize in ED and PE. Listen to Dr. Rubinski, a renowned expert in men's health.
I'm Dr. Rubinski. If you're experiencing ED or PE, Prime Men's Medical Center has custom blended medications to help you last longer in the bedroom, regardless of age or past medical history, with no pain or surgery. In fact, you'll see results in the office guaranteed or your exam is free. Patients are now lasting for 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer. And best of all, treatments are affordable.
Men, if Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, call Prime Men's Medical Center for a private consultation with our highly skilled physicians. Call 904-206-8105. 904-206-8105. 904-206-8105.
These can be unsettling times, but CGC Water Treatment wants you to know that they are there for you and your family. CGC Water Treatment has 50% savings for you. Purchase a Premier Softener and save 50% off a K5, Connecticut's premier reverse osmosis system. When the shelves at the stores are empty, it's a great feeling to have purified water right at home. Call 904-694-2242 or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Connecticut dealer.
One-to-One Financial is Jacksonville's hometown credit union, and we've been helping people improve their lives and start businesses in this community for more than 85 years, longer than any other local institution. Like our name says, we work one-to-one with everyone, no matter their background, and we offer the best rates on loans and savings accounts, free debt counseling, plus no-cost financial planning. Learn more and join us at one-to-one-fcu.org, federally insured by NCUA.
This is a CMG Open for Business report. During these changing times, it's challenging for businesses across North Florida, big and small, but businesses are adjusting to meet your needs in a safe and comfortable way. Here's today's list of businesses that are open for you.
Maudlin International Truck and Trailer, The Preferred Group, Preferred Roofing and Preferred Building, The Blinds Guys, Gutter Helmet, Expert Glassworks.
If you're open for business, let us know by emailing us at openjax@cmg.com. Together, we're getting through this.
These days, the whole world is on the internet 24/7, on their phones, at work, even at the dinner table. It's the internet all the time. So why, when it's time to sell your home, does your traditional agent charge you 6% to list it on the MLS to other agents instead of targeting buyers directly online? That's why Rex was born. For a fee starting at 2%, Rex sells your home where buyers are looking, online, optimized by data-driven marketing, not the MLS. To get started, visit sellwithrex.com. That's sellwithrex.com. With Rex, selling or buying a home has never been easier. Price your home, get a virtual consultation, visit online open houses and showings, all from the comfort of your home with a few clicks of a button. Want to learn more? Visit sellwithrex.com or just use your phone and call 833-REX-HOME. 833-REX-HOME. That's 833-739-4663. License number CQ1057788. Minimum fee may apply. Rex fully supports the principles of the Fair Housing Act and Equal Opportunity Act.
Alexa, how do I drive more customers into my business?
First, people will need to hear about you. Then you need to be online where they look for you. Then you need to be involved in the community. Then you need to...
Whoa. I don't have time for that. I need to run my business.
Okay, searching for a local team that can help.
Local Solutions, your local marketing team putting you at the top of mind. Visit JacksonvilleLocalSolutions.com today and let us take your business to the next level. Local Solutions, powered by Cox Media Group. Marketing solved.
Redbox has top entertainment when you need it most. Get ready for some high-speed family excitement. Based on the global video game franchise from Sega, Sonic the Hedgehog is here. Can Sonic defeat evil genius Dr. Robotnik, played by none other than Jim Carrey? And save the world? Let Redbox bring you together, because connection is everything, now more than ever. Make it a family movie night and visit redbox.com for all the ways to watch. Prices may vary by location, subject to applicable taxes. Additional terms at redbox.com.
Where is this water
coming from?
Who will deliver us lunch?
Why is the air conditioner blowing hot air?
Where can I get a tire fixed?
Do you know someone who can get marker stains out of the carpet?
What do we need to do to get the pool ready?
These and hundreds of other questions are still being asked daily. Will the answer be your business or your competitors? Don't leave it to chance. Let Cox Media Group Jacksonville make you the answer to their questions. Contact us at 245-8732 or email buildjax@cmg.com and let's build Jax.
It's times like these that remind us all of how precious life is and how our love and relationships are what really matter. At Diamonds Direct, we believe this. Your love and well-being are truly our passion. That's why we've decided to temporarily close our showrooms, a decision rooted in caution and compassion. But rest assured, we are still here for you. Diamonds Direct's experts are behind the scenes helping customers 24/7, giving you access via text, live chat, email, or our special customer hotline that you can call anytime. Remote shopping options and expert guidance are always available, and our commitment to serve you is stronger than ever. Please visit diamondsdirect.com for more information or to start a remote shopping appointment. At Diamonds Direct, we're honored to be the symbol of your commitment to each other. And while we wait during this uncertain time, we encourage you to be safe, cautious, and courageous as we look forward to better days ahead. It's still your love, our passion, and nothing can change that. Not now, not ever.
With COVID-19, more local families than ever need food. Our seniors require extra support, and kids stuck at home could use something to smile about. A gift in any amount will make a big difference, especially when you give through Jewish Family and Community Services. Thanks to the Max Block Food Pantry Matching Challenge, your donation will automatically double. Jewish Family and Community Services. Here for hunger, here for Jax. Learn more at hereforjax.com.
This is a CMG Open for Business report. During these changing times, it's challenging for businesses across North Florida, big and small, but businesses are adjusting to meet your needs in a safe and comfortable way. Here's today's list of businesses that are open for you.
House Authority Inspection Service, Diamond Car Wash, Tailor Made Roofing, St. Augustine Electric Motor Works, First Coast Nephrology.
If you're open for business, let us know by emailing us at openjax@cmg.com. Together, we're getting through this.
Every home has things it needs, things that need to be maintained, fixed, or replaced. The Home Depot is here to help you get it done. You can easily find what you need on our app, order it online with the push of a button, and have it brought to your door with free delivery on over 1 million items. We have the essentials you need, the online know-how you may need to do it yourself, and low prices that make it all possible. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Right now, it feels like the world's standing still. But if you look to the land, it's a whole different story. From farms to backyards, wheels are turning, seeds are being planted, animals are getting fed, grass is growing, and families are giving their all to the soil. Because no matter how uncertain things get, the land never stops. So to all those linked to the land, John Deere says thank you. We're here for you because we all run together. Nothing runs like a deer.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jags.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio.
This is Action Sports Jags on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
When you're laid up and hospital bound, and for me, then even discharged from the hospital, wheelchair bound, it was a while before I could, then you're using a walker and getting around. Yeah, it is. You're wondering if you're ever going to be able to walk again. The range of outcomes that the doctors are telling you at that point is so wide and great. That amputation still wasn't off the table, was still a potential possibility, even having gone through so many surgeries to try and save my leg. So I'd be lying if I said fear the entire time wasn't in the back of your head, and you're doing the best you can to not let it overcome you. But a lot of days you're wondering what's your life going to be like.
That's Alex Smith. I saw a tweet on Alex Smith yesterday promoting tonight's E60 episode, or I think it's revolves around E60, but they're going to tell the Alex Smith's story.
Yep.
And I didn't even know how to react to it. You okay over there?
Yeah, we're good. Sorry. Go on as you were. My bad.
You were.
I was watching
the phone was beating you, and I was kind of watching.
Yeah, man. I was watching an Alex Jones clip, and all of a sudden,
I was watching
crazy.
the phone defeat you. It was kind of fun.
Panic mode.
The Alex Smith stuff. I was looking at this thing, and they were showing like just how bad his leg was, and the amputation part that could happen, and his life was on the line because of infection. And if you go, they show the pictures, and during this little 2-minute clip to promote the episode tonight, and it's like, wow. And I didn't know what to tweet. Like, I wanted to kind of help promote it for, at least just say, wow, check this out tomorrow. I didn't even know what to really say. I don't know. Is it incredible? It's amazing that it got to that. Like, you're talking about a football injury to a foot, to a leg, lower leg, that almost resulted in a guy dying.
Yeah, man.
And at the very, if you don't want to be that dramatic, I guess we'll find out a little bit more tonight just how close to that. But definitely, like, amputation was in play. I mean, that is just, it's so unique, I think, we've seen the head injuries, right? We've seen the neck injuries. Those are dramatic, and those you kind of know what can happen. We see gruesome lower leg injuries. What's his name from the Celtics? When he Gordon
Hayward.
Gordon Hayward.
Yeah.
That was gross, right?
I mean, Zach Miller is one that comes to mind for me.
Miller.
Because
and again, that was a very severe one
Paul
too.
George too. His for the USA team. Remember they did the practice.
That's right.
So, with Zach Miller, man, I remember texting him like 3 days before it happened because he was showcasing his shoes that he had. It was around Halloween, so he had like the Mike Myers. Zach Miller's a big Mike Myers Halloween fan, like diehard. Like, he used to come to the stadium like during like October with the Halloween mask. No one asked him to do that. Just did it. Okay.
Nobody asked him to do it.
So he had the Mike Myers cleats, man. So, but dude, those cleats are crazy, man. Those are so you. And then a couple days later, I'm watching because obviously I just came from getting cut from the Bears, so I was following the team and everything. And he's in New Orleans, if I remember correctly. And he goes up, catches a touchdown and comes down on it, and it's a play you've seen a million times. And when he comes down, it's just he lands wrong, and it's the angle or whatever it was, and all of a sudden he's fighting to keep his leg, man. Now all of a sudden it's not about football anymore. It's about keeping your leg, And unfortunately, that injury that he suffered, that was his career. Like he never got to lace him up again because of that gruesome injury. Now Alex Smith, we'll see what happens with him, but it's crazy, man, right? Because you sign up for it, right? You sign up for possibly, the head injuries down the line. You sign up for all this stuff in football. But the last thing that ever crosses your mind that you're going to lose your leg, like you could lose your life. Like, I understand it's a violent and dangerous sport, and that can cross your mind, when you get those shoulder pads, but you never contemplate losing your life, over a game. So I'm definitely checking out this Alex Smith documentary, man, because I'm curious to see it. Obviously, a guy that I spent some time with in Kansas City. I've told this story before. My very first day in Kansas City, eating at the lunch table, and I'm like the new kid in school. That's always a sucky feeling because you don't really know that many people, and you got to get out there and quote unquote make new friends. Make new teammates. And Alex Smith, one of the first guys to come up to me, sit down right next to me, and talk to me. I'm like, hey, what's up, man? So we started talking. It wasn't because, he was trying to be friendly or anything. I mean, he was a friendly guy, don't get me wrong, but he wanted to know who's on his team now, right? Because it was Alex Smith's team, and he wanted to know the type of guy that they were bringing in. So it goes to show you the type of character that Alex Smith has. And like I said, I'm excited to watch this whole thing going through adversity with him.
Well, listen, I want you to share a little bit more about that. I mean, because you were teammates with the guy. But from the outside, okay, Alex Smith is this guy that plays under Urban Meyer at Utah. Mm-hmm. He's a number 1 draft pick. He actually comes across, and stop me if I'm wrong, but I feel this way. I'm not saying I felt this way, but I feel like the public felt almost like kind of Rodgers comes across a little bit at times, almost diva-like, not very likable. Again, people love Aaron Rodgers because he's unbelievable at football.
Correct.
But stop that for a second and just say, Rodgers feels a little different as a quarterback. You might like him or not because of some of the things he says, kind of the way you perceive him. That's what I'm getting at. And I feel like Alex Smith had a little bit of that to him as well, right? I mean, is that fair?
And it's funny because talking to Alex Smith, I mean, he was probably... Now that I look back on my career, man, he was probably the most easygoing, laid-back quarterback that you're ever going to meet off the field. You know, like when he was on the field, it was his team, you know, and people rallied around him. And with Alex Smith, to me, he always got a bad reputation because what was the word, what was the term that he even told me he couldn't stand? I know Andy Reid couldn't stand it. I know a lot of people know. Game manager. It was a game manager.
Yeah.
You know, and that's something that's kind of always followed his career a little bit, right? Well, guess what, man? If you got Jamal Charles in the backfield, if you have Andy Reid calling the shots, to me, you're more than a game manager. Okay, like, yeah, you have to follow the system, but technically, Brent, everyone's a game manager. Jared Goff, game manager. Drew Brees, game manager. You know, like, they follow the script. Like, someone's telling them what to do, and then they go out and do it. Now, yeah, there's audibles here, like Peyton Manning-esque and all that stuff. So there is some improv. But, like, I never considered Alex Smith just a game manager. You know, that's something that's always followed his thing. But I'm telling the person off the field, though, Brent, he was a cool guy. And that's coming from me who, listen, I play on the defensive side of the ball, all right? You don't really talk to the quarterbacks that much. You don't really run into the quarterbacks that much. But for whatever reason, Alex Smith always made himself available. He always made sure that he was hanging out with the defensive guys too. I mean, it was a camaraderie. It was a brotherhood with Alex Smith.
Well, here's the deal on Alex Smith too. Like, here's why he's listed as a game manager along the way, and it's however you want to define it. But this is why he was labeled that way, because in a world where you do have the Brett Favres and the Aaron Rodgers and the Peyton Manning's throwing 50 touchdowns, Tom Brady throwing 50 touchdowns. Remember now, this is 2008, 2009. That's when he's playing. And he in that time is throwing 16 touchdowns, 18 touchdowns, 14, 17, 13. His high in his career was 26 in that really good year in Kansas City before he went to Washington. He only eclipsed 20 touchdowns 3 times in his career. So he wasn't this throw it all over the yard guy. And so therefore you get labeled as a game manager. You either get labeled as a guy who can throw it all over the yard, a game manager, or a guy who turns it over all the time. And you can have 30 touchdowns, but it doesn't matter because you have 22 picks.
And listen, like I said, it helps having a guy by the name of Jamal Charles. People sleep on Jamal Charles, man. There was a time in fantasy football, or just in the league in general,
the most electric guy in the league.
He was the best, if not like the second best running back in the entire football.
I think per touch, he was the best guy going. I'm pretty sure.
So when you have that at your disposal, well, but of course you're not going to be passing the ball every single play because you got a dynamic running back in the backfield.
You know, it's interesting. People have asked the question in the last couple of days. Andy Dalton, would you take that career? I think it was John Shipley from Sports Illustrated writes for them. He asked, would you take the career of Andy Dalton for Gardner Minshew? You look at it, it's 9 seasons, it's 3 Pro Bowls, holds every record in franchise history.
Here's the real question. How many playoffs has he been to? 4.
Is it 4 or 5? 4. But he won no games. That's what the thing is. Does it?
Brent, people in this city would kill for playoff appearances right now.
But you're right, the consistency, right?
The consistency.
To
exactly.
put you in the position to do so.
He went to the playoffs 4 years in a row.
Well, and that's what I'm saying, then. So would you see a lot of people, maybe I don't know if it's a younger crowd or not, but our recent memory says Alex Smith hurt, but before that, MVP kind of year with Kansas City. Well, if you look in totality at his career, people aren't going to list Alex Smith as one of the great QBs. I'm not sure they're going to label him as a bust, as a number 1 pick, but they're not going to say, oh, yeah, that's why he was the number 1 pick, greatest guy, didn't win, blah, blah, blah. But when you go back and take a lot of his production, is a fair question to ask now in hindsight for Alex Smith. And I think, well, you definitely take that last year in San Francisco. Remember, they went to the Super Bowl that year. Colin Kaepernick ends up coming in. And Alex Smith had the concussion. And then his last year in Kansas City was his finest year as a pro. He had really developed. And at the same time, he was mentoring, to a degree, Patrick Mahomes.
So you're asking, would I take that?
Yeah, would you take those guys' careers for a Gardner Minshew?
Listen,
right now, would you sign up for that?
You would take the consistency, okay? You would take 4 playoff appearances in a row because that shows me, you know what? Is he the best quarterback in the league? No. Is he even maybe a top 5 quarterback in the league? Probably not. But guess what, Brent? He's top 10. And if you give a top 10 quarterback tools, if you give a top 10 quarterback a defense that has his back, you can be successful. You can go to the playoffs and you can win a Super Bowl, okay? So with that being said, I would absolutely take that in a heartbeat, hoping that they obviously build around him and provide him with talent to succeed.
Yeah, and maybe a little bit more talent like he had in Kansas City when he had his finest moment. And, of course, a Super Bowl team in San Francisco that even Kaepernick was able to come into and perform well, I shouldn't say even Kaepernick, but I'm just saying Kaepernick was able to lead him there because of not only Kaepernick, but also everybody around him to that Super Bowl against the Baltimore Ravens, which the Ravens ended up winning. Brett Martineau, Austin Lane, Coos here on a Friday, 5:15. We are going to continue to celebrate Jags fans and the Bold City Brigade. We're bringing the Brigade. We have a little Big Cat Country moment coming up in about 15 minutes. So, Alex Smith, this story will run tonight. It's fascinating because there's one other part I wanted to ask about it. You played a violent game. Mm-hmm. You almost know at some point you're going to deal with something from an injury. I mean, heck, you deal with something every week, but I'm talking major. Something that probably eliminated for you was a labrum.
Well,
right?
It was a Liz Frank, actually, for me.
Frank.
Yeah.
But the labrum was first, I thought.
Yeah, labrum was first. And, I mean, yeah, that's a pretty standard surgery. But, like, the Liz Frank was a nightmare. But you missed
time with the labrum.
I did. Yeah, I missed, half a season.
Half a season.
Yeah.
So you know that. It's just part of it. It's it's really hard to stay healthy throughout. A lot of that's luck. People will say, hey, he's really durable. Well, he's also real lucky.
Exactly,
right?
man.
I'm sure there is a durability part.
No, there
right?
is, man, but a lot of it is definitely luck. Yeah.
So what I'm really trying to ask is there a level of injury that frustrates you more than others? See, it's you don't want a concussion, but if you get knocked out or you really hurt yourself, maybe it's you're not getting paralyzed, but you hurt your neck and you can't play anymore or something like that. It's almost like, I don't want to say it's a badge of honor, but it's like that's part of the game. You hurt your foot. Yeah. And it's like, well, that shouldn't end my career. I hurt my foot.
Well, especially,
you know what I mean?
Being called a Liz Frank injury. Is there anything more feminine than a Liz Frank? Like, call it something better than that. Call it something more masculine, like, a broken, something like that, like a broken F4 or something. Liz Frank, like, I'm telling my friends what happened, dude. Dude, I'm out for a couple weeks, Liz Frank. And they just laughed at me like, suck it up and go play. I'm like, I wish I could.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
People get more frustrated with that. Like, was Marquise Lee really frustrated over the years because it's a calf injury? And people are like, come on, man, it's a calf injury. Well, you know what? When you're a racehorse and you have a calf injury, that's tough.
So it is a frustrating thing because keep in mind, and I dealt with this problem, a little bit with my shoulder surgery, is they prep you a lot for the NFL, okay? And they prep you what to expect and all that. But what nobody told us at the rookie symposium, what no vet ever told me until I experienced it firsthand, was the trials and tribulations of being on IR. Because essentially, you're not making all your money, which that's fine. You're still making a lot of money. You're still getting paid for the Jacksonville Jaguars, whatever team you're playing on, but you're not part of the team. So essentially what you do is you go do treatment, you get in, get out, and then you go home. So you watch the games on TV, or if it's a home game, you can go to the game, but you see these guys on TV and you see the interviews and they're having success, but you're not a part of that. Even though coaches or whoever can say, oh, yeah, he's still part of our team, you're not. Okay, because you're not sitting in meetings. You're not in the practice field. You're essentially just this guy who used to play for the team who's now at home getting paid to sit at home. And it's kind of a weird situation to be in. And, at least from my standpoint, like you feel a little, I guess, guilty for still getting paid because you're not doing anything. So it's just a whole form of mental gymnastics that a lot of guys, I think, go through in terms of IR. But to get back to your question here of, like, do you wear them as badges of honor, depending on the injury? I would say yes, right? Like shoulder injuries, things like that, stingers.
How many surgeries you have.
Exactly. I mean, there are kind of badges of honor, but then you talk to the other extreme, and I've told this story before too, but what really kind of opened my eyes a little bit, because I've always been kind of like Superman, right? Like I've always kind of felt like, nothing's going to hurt me. Like it's still a game at the end of the day. Yeah, the guys are bigger, the guys are faster, but guess what, man? So am I. I'm going to play forever, man. Like I'm not worried about injuries. The only time that I was ever really worried about an injury, and keep in mind, I saw Aaron Campman tear his ACL twice in practice. I saw Aaron Campman just run a hoop drill and tear his ACL. I saw Aaron Campman do a one-on-one drill the next year and tear his ACL. That didn't scare me. The only time I was ever actually wholeheartedly, and I'm sharing it, whatever it is, the only time I was actually scared and questioned, like, Austin, what are you doing right now, is when we played in Indianapolis. I forgot what year it was, maybe 2011, and Austin Collie got a spinal concussion. And Austin Collie comes across the middle. Darryl Smith smokes him. Peyton Manning led him there. Peyton Manning didn't see Darryl Smith. And I remember being on the sideline thinking, like, oh, Darryl Smith's about to kill this dude. That's what I thought. Darryl Smith hits Austin Collie, and keep in mind, it's Austin Collie, so He's probably had about 5-6 concussions. He's got a visor on, so you can't see his eyes. Hits Austin Collie. Austin Collie immediately goes limp and falls over. And I'm about 10 yards, maybe 15 yards away from the play. I'm on the sideline. Obviously, the stadium goes quiet, and I just hear Austin Collie snoring. I hear him wheezing, and I hear him snoring. I'm literally 15 yards away from the guy, and I can hear him, and he's not moving. So I was like, okay, well, this guy's dead then. And he was down for a while, man. And I remember just taking a knee, praying that he's okay, thinking like, man, like what have I got myself into? It was the first time ever in my career of all playing football when Austin Collie got KO'd, I think for his last time, where I was like, man, this game, I don't know. It's the only time I ever questioned it.
Yeah, I remember. I mean, you said that you've shared that story about Austin Collie, and I would imagine for every player, there's an injury like that. That kind of happens.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to shift to something. I'm not going to get carried away with this topic, okay? This is not meant to say, oh, gosh, let's just say something to incite everybody. It really isn't. I'm just being as honest as I can be with you. I've said this for a couple of days. We just haven't brought it up because I needed at least a couple minutes, and we didn't have it at the time.
Yeah.
And I just had this random thought the other day about Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
And I don't even know why it came to my mind, but it was totally a random thought. And the thought about it was this. Tom Coughlin kind of squashed Colin Kaepernick coming to Jacksonville back in, I think, 2017 when asked about it. Didn't really elaborate much on it, if I remember correctly, but squashed the idea of it. And obviously nothing materialized. What was interesting, though, is prior to that, I believe, I don't know which came first, but right around that time, Shad Khan, the Jaguars owner, did not squash it. Said he'd be open to it. Said he'd be open to it, I think, if his football folks recommended it. Well, that led back to, okay, well, it's not going to happen because Tom Coughlin's doing the recommending, and he doesn't think it's a good fit right now for whatever reasons. Didn't want the drama, didn't think he's good enough quarterback, didn't want that kind of competition. Well, what's changed in the last few months? Tom Coughlin's not making those decisions. How does Dave Caldwell feel about it? How does Doug Marrone feel about it?
Doesn't matter.
How does
right?
Shad Khan feel about it now that he might be a shade more involved in the football decisions than before? And so I'm just being completely honest with you. That's the random thought. I don't have a heavy opinion on, if they don't get Andy Dalton and Dalton goes to New England, are they going to bring Colin Kaepernick in here? That's not really the intent of the discussion. I just wonder if the Jacksonville door on Kaepernick could be open with Coughlin not here. And I don't know if it was strictly Coughlin. He's the one that was answering those questions.
Yeah.
But let's just assume it was. And based off what Shad Khan had said, now listen, a lot of years have passed. They've got Minshew. They're ready to roll with him. I'm not, like I said, I'm not suggesting this. I just thought it was interesting enough for me to bring it up because I wonder how the Jags feel about that. How would they feel mid-season? And you know what actually got me thinking about it? When they redid the contract to Norwell, I was like, what the heck are they saving $2.5 million for? If the cat, like, who cares? They don't need to.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of got me thinking about, well, they made that Marcel Darius move. What if they wanted to make a move? What kind of moves could they make? And I was all over the place with it, but my thoughts ended up going back to Kaepernick on it. And, could the Jags be open to that if the scenario played out where they needed a quarterback, wanted something different? Would they allow that opportunity?
So, yeah, it warrants asking the question with Tom Coughlin being gone now. To me, this is Shad Khan's call, okay? I'm not sure how Dave Caldwell feels about Colin Kaepernick. I'm not really sure how Doug Marrone feels about Colin Kaepernick. And to me, that doesn't really matter because if Shad Khan wants Colin Kaepernick here, he'll have Colin Kaepernick here. End of story. I think with Colin Kaepernick and the Jacksonville Jaguars right now, I think it comes down to more of his ability on the field than the distractions that it could warrant. Okay? I don't think Shad Khan is really worried about if he was to bring Colin Kaepernick in, how the outside football world may perceive that. How even the community, the city of Jacksonville may perceive that. Okay, I don't know Shad Khan personally. I've talked to him a couple times. I have a pretty good idea of the type of guy that he is. And I think that if he felt like Colin Kaepernick could play football for this team, he would bring him in. bad optics aside, okay? The question is, does he fit the mold right now? Does he fit the Jacksonville Jaguars? And you can make an argument and say, well, you know what? They have Gardner Minshew. They just drafted a backup quarterback in Luton. I'm going to get it right eventually, Luton. They spent a 5th-round draft pick on another quarterback in Joshua Dobbs. And all things considered, Andy Dalton's kind of slated to possibly be here.
It makes more sense.
So off the top of my head, can I foresee Kaepernick getting a shot in Jacksonville? Not anytime soon. But I'll say this, though. And I get every owner's different, and I get that GMs, and that they all have their opinions on them, okay? And what I'm about to say is probably going to rub some people the wrong way. Don't really care. I think at the end of the day, the game of football, number one, but the NFL for sure, whether you're a coach, a GM, a player, the goal is to win. Okay, the goal is to hoist that Lombardi trophy and win a championship. So with that being said, I see Taysom Hill get a new contract. What's his completion percentage? Yeah, I get it. Taysom Hill plays tight end. He's on special teams, things like that. Colin Kaepernick is more of just a traditional quarterback. I can't really foresee him playing the H-back or things like that. But in terms of a dynamic person, that's where the NFL is going right now. We always talk about these dual threat guys. We talk about these Deshaun Watsons. We talk about these Patrick Mahomes. We talk about, Lamar Jackson. These are the new breed of characters, okay? Not saying, once again, Colin Kaepernick is in the stratosphere of those quarterbacks. But what I am saying is that Colin Kaepernick could come to a team and offer a different wrinkle. He could offer a defensive coordinator trying to plan against him more fits. So with that being said, if the goal is to win a championship, and you have it on your team to do that, why wouldn't you at least work him out to see? Okay? Now, once again, I understand people are going to disagree with me. The optics, all this stuff, what's it going to say about your franchise? Don't really care. Care about winning a championship. Care about winning a Lombardi trophy. And I think if you're a team in the NFL who's lacking that dual threat guy, who's lacking that kind of different kind of piece, then why not give Kaepernick at least a workout to see if he still has?
Well, and that's exactly the context I thought it could come in, if any, is that new role that everybody wants. I mean, heck, they just drafted Jalen Hurts in Philadelphia to kind of give him that role.
Exactly.
Sean Payton saying, I invented this role for Taysom Hill.
Yeah.
And now people will what? Copy. Yeah. And now, would Kaepernick be willing to do that role? That's always been a question mark about Kaepernick, much like it was with Tebow. Does he want to move around? Will he just want to be quarterback?
Has anybody asked him, though?
I don't know.
Yeah.
The one thing, here's why I say I answer my own question with no, it won't happen. And this is really the reason why, to me, is they have been so adamant that they don't want drama. Well,
sure.
It's undeniable, and not necessarily even just Kaepernick-wise, who could bring it in, but the everything around it will be drama. You can't sit here and tell me I don't want drama, and then bring in Kaepernick. Mm-hmm. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Mm-hmm. But again, it was a random thought I had. And you wonder if the door is open at some juncture to at least, like you said, work it out, give it a try, see if it could work in Jacksonville. Something that the door had been slammed shut over the last few years on. When we come back, Big Cat Country. What's it all about? How did it get going? Break it down. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. We're celebrating the Jags fans, and we do it next right here.
Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Clear and cool tonight, temperatures dropping to near 50 degrees by morning. Sunny and pleasantly warm Saturday with afternoon highs in the low to mid-80s. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
These days, the whole world is on the internet 24/7, on their phones, at work, even at the dinner table. It's the internet all the time. So why, when it's time to sell your home, does your traditional agent charge you 6% to list it on the MLS to other agents instead of targeting buyers directly online? That's why Rex was born. For a fee starting at 2%, Rex sells your home where buyers are looking, online, optimized by data-driven marketing, not the MLS. To get started, visit sellwithrex.com. That's sellwithrex.com. With Rex, selling or buying a home has never been easier. Price your home, get a virtual consultation, visit online open houses and showings, all from the comfort of your home with a few clicks of a button. Want to learn more? Visit sellwithrex.com or just use your phone and call 833-REX-HOME. 833-REX-HOME. That's 833-739-4663. License number CQ1057788. Minimum fee may apply. Rex fully supports the principles of the Fair Housing Act and Equal Opportunity Act.
The virus has hit home, causing many people to lose their jobs, and more are going hungry. Cox Media Group stations are partnering with Feeding Northeast Florida to help source and safely distribute food with a virtual food drive during this crucial time of need. Log on to feedingnefl.org right now and click donate to make a difference by donating what you can to Feeding Northeast Florida. No amount is too small, and if you find yourself not knowing where your next meal will come from, visit feedingnefl.org and click Get Help. Let's come together to help each other out.
Hi everyone, I'm Kim, Client Relations Manager here at Reliant. Reliant has always been focused on the customer experience. Reliant has been a leader in the industry when it comes to using technology to connect with our clients whenever needed. So while everything around us continues to change and other contractors are scrambling to adapt to the new normal, Reliant remains steadfast, ready to serve our clients. Our client coordinators are available to discuss your roofing, solar, and hurricane shutter projects, so give us a call today.
This is a CMG Open for Business report. During these changing times, it's challenging for businesses across North Florida, big and small, but businesses are adjusting to meet your needs in a safe and comfortable way. Here's today's list of businesses that are open for you. Portable Air and Power, Lawns Unlimited, Actual Labor, The Casket Store, Incredible Kitchen and Bath, Lake Area Water Sports. If you're open for business, let us know by emailing us at openjax@cmg.com. Together, we're getting through this.
Take a look out your window right now. Things appear basically the same, but you know they're not. Same with your business. There have been changes, some might even be permanent. Only time will tell. But in the meantime, how will you respond? Stay the course, or will you explore the new opportunities in front of you? At Cox Media Group Jacksonville, we know that those who explore often discover wonderful new things. If you're willing, we're able to help. Contact us at 245-8732 or email buildjax@cmg.com. And let's build Jax.
Our friends at Arlington Toyota are here for you, and they've taken some extra steps to make sure your Arlington experience is safe and convenient. First, and this is a big one, Arlington has now extended its exchange policy to 30 days. That's 30 days you have to love your purchase or exchange it. Now that's peace of mind. They're also going to give you no payments for 90 days. That's 90 days deferred payments on all new and certified pre-owned Toyotas. You can shop over 1,000 vehicles online, and in fact, you can complete your entire purchase 100% online, including choosing your car, trade-in, and even financing. Arlington will then deliver your completely sanitized vehicle to you at your home. All departments at Arlington are open: sales, service, parts, and collision, and they've adjusted their hours to work best for you. Check it out online at arlingtontoyota.com. And if you do come in, know this: Arlington is using hospital-grade sanitizing products and following all CDC guidelines to keep you and their team safe. Find out more at arlingtontoyota.com. And most of all, stay well and know that Arlington is here to help.
Let's say you have ED, male impotence, or maybe you suffer from PE and can't satisfy your partner. If you have either or both of these embarrassing conditions, Prime Men's Medical Center has the solution. Meet Dr. Rabinski, a specialist in men's health.
If you're experiencing ED or PE, Prime Men's Medical Center has custom blended medications designed just for you. There's no pain and no surgery. If you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or prostate issues, not a problem. If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, Prime Men's Medical Center has patients lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer. You'll see results on your first visit, guaranteed, or your visit is free. And best of all, it's affordable.
For a private consultation with our highly skilled physicians, call 904-206-8105. We guarantee that you'll see results on your first visit, or there's no charge for your consult. Call Prime Men's Medical Center now at 904-206-8105. That's 904-206-8105.
It's times like these that remind us all of how precious life is and how our love and relationships are what really matter. At Diamonds Direct, we believe this. Your love and well-being are truly our passion. That's why we've decided to temporarily close our showrooms, a decision rooted in caution and compassion. But rest assured, we are still here for you. Diamonds Direct's experts are behind the scenes helping customers 24/7, giving you access via text, live chat, email, or our special customer hotline that you can call anytime. Remote shopping options and expert guidance are always available, and our commitment to serve you is stronger than ever. Please visit diamondsdirect.com for more information or to start a remote shopping appointment. At Diamonds Direct, we're honored to be the symbol of your commitment to each other. And while we wait during this uncertain time, we encourage you to be safe, cautious, and courageous as we look forward to better days ahead. It's still your love, our passion, and nothing can change that. Not now, not ever.
This is a CMG Open for Business report. During these changing times, it's challenging for businesses across North Florida, big and small, but businesses are adjusting to meet your needs in a safe and comfortable way. Here's today's list of businesses that are open for you.
Flying Iguana, Co-op 303, J. Turner & Company, Florida Eye Specialist, Insurall, Green Iguana Bath.
If you're open for business, let us know by emailing us at openjax@cmg.com. Together, we're getting through this.
One-to-One Financial is Jacksonville's hometown credit union, and we've been helping people improve their lives and start businesses in this community for more than 85 years, longer than any other local institution. Like our name says, we work one-to-one with everyone, no matter their background, and we offer the best rates on loans and savings accounts, free debt counseling, plus no-cost financial planning. Learn more and join us at one-to-one-fcu.org, federally insured by NCUA.
See, very intrigued by the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
You like money. I suggest you get your voice looked at.
It's allergy season.
It seems to be always allergy season, Stugatz.
That's because it is. The Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugatz on ESPN Radio and ESPN News.
Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jax.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
The thing about Cam really is the situation. You know, we're in a situation where we've got two really young quarterbacks. One that's been with us, been in the system, understands how we want things done. And the other one's a guy that was taken last year in the first round that shows some promise. If you go back and break Dwayne down, you see a lot of positive things. I think with Cam, and I have thought about it. I mean, it's something that has run through my mind. And it's about the situation and circumstances. I'm not sure if I would do it. I'm not sure if I wouldn't do it. It's just, again, depends on circumstances.
That's Ron Rivera, Washington Redskins coach, and I think it probably says a lot to other teams about the Cam Newton situation if he's not running up to sign Cam Newton and he coached him in Carolina. I'm not saying that makes Cam out to be a bad guy, but maybe just the health stuff, the concerns. Why isn't Ron Rivera he brings Kyle Allen in instead of Cam Newton, which just doesn't add up, and a lot of teams are still shying away from Cam Newton, it looks like. Hey, we've been celebrating Jags fans. We celebrate local sports here in the last month and a half or so. We're going to continue to do it all summer long. A lot of teams to hit on. And we thought this was a cool time to celebrate Jags fans. And we bring in the brigade, the Bold City Brigade. And kind of under that umbrella is Big Cat Country. And you've probably followed the site if you follow the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the man behind the site, I think, at least that's who I give credit to, is Alfie Crow. He joins us now on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. What's up, man?
Not a whole lot. How are you guys doing?
Hey, we're doing great. Good. All right, so are you here's what I want to know. I'm going to ask you why you're such a big on the cooking stuff, but I'll get to that later. What has been your role with Big Cat Country, and I identify you with Big Cat Country. Is that correct?
For the most part, I did not start the website, but I have run the website now for like 75% of its existence. So it was originally started back in 2006 by a guy named Chris Harris, who he used to actually, like, when SB Nation was in its infancy, it had like 5 team sites. And they were just kind of like the collaboration of different team fans and all that. And he used to write about the Jaguars on the Colts site. And they were like, hey, why don't we just give you your own site for the Jaguars? And he kind of grew it from there. And I'd helped start another site called Jag Nation. Cap was part of that. That's when we first met. And then when I got done running that, Chris was he couldn't, didn't have time for the site anymore. It didn't pay a whole lot, but I was super passionate about it. So I was like, hey, I'll do it. And since 2010, basically, I've been running and managing everything on Big Cat Country.
Alfie Crow with us, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. I was going to ask you, is it more labor of love for everybody that's a part of it? Ryan Day, we've had Demetrius Harvey, who writes for it as well, on a couple of times. Is it labor of love stuff, or do people get into it kind of looking like, okay, we can make some money off it?
Thankfully, I did a pretty good job of growing it, and it's now it makes pretty good money. So I'm able to hire people to, like Demetrius, like Ryan Day, to help me out with stuff on the site. So luckily, I was able to grow a hobby and a passion into something that pays the bills.
That's good. Good.
Hey, what's up, Elfie, man? It's Austin Lance. Great to hear from you, man. Long time no see.
Yeah, there haven't been any festivals for me to spot you at or any wrestling shows.
Exactly, man. It's been kind of low key here. Hopefully, we'll see you at one pretty soon. But with Big Cat Country, like, I love it because it combines football information and it combines satire sometimes as well. Now I'll be honest, when I played on the team, wasn't a fan of the satire too much, right? But now that obviously I work in the media, but I'm also a fan, obviously, the Jacksonville Jaguars, man. I can't get enough of the satire. But my question to you is, how do you balance the satire with the actual football information?
Usually it starts out in training camp and beginning of the season, it's very serious. And then when we can tell the season is going to turn, we're just kind of like, all right, well, it's time to have some fun. So it ended up like, it wasn't always like that, but after, season after season of bad and trying to not only be a fan, but also be objective, because I want people to take it as like our honest opinions as, evaluations more so than just we're fans that, write stuff. So I wanted it to kind of combine being fans and being taken seriously. So it just ended up being like getting super jaded and like, okay, this is how it's going to be entertaining when they're bad, is to just make a bunch of jokes.
Are you like the most polarizing guy in town? I mean, because your Twitter mentions sometimes.
Probably. I think, well, I talked about this with Cap and with Dilla on their podcast, that a long time ago, like, I realized, like, I don't care if people hate me. They're not actually mad at me. They're more so mad at the team because they're not very good, and I'm saying they're not very good. So I get the brunt of the criticism, and I just took it like everyone needs somebody to hate. So I'll just be that person. So it usually ends up being either people really love me or they really like me. So I think Austin will kind of relate to it as, like, somebody's got to be the heel.
Oh, of course, man, without a doubt. And, in terms of hate, sometimes that hate can actually trickle off of social media and actually transform into real life a little bit. I'm recalled... Am I crazy to think that some guy wanted to fight you last year after a Jaguars game? Was it Tampa Bay where a guy was trying to find you after the game?
That was the Kansas City game.
Okay.
Game of the year.
Okay.
And as I'm sure most people know on Twitter, there's a running joke where we make fun of Bills fans all the time. So someone posted like a video of like a Chiefs tailgate, and it was a bunch of people. And I was like, wow, even Buffalo had more people than this, like, just as a joke, as I'm wont to do. And apparently the guy got really, really mad about that. So he just kept tweeting me like all game because we were getting blown out. And I ended up leaving in the third quarter because it was super hot. And I was like, there's no point in this. So I was having fun with it and, going back and forth with him. And then he wanted to fight me, I guess because I made fun of his tailgate. And I was like, okay, well, meet me here. So I just started giving like random locations and all this. And he ended up going to the location for like a half hour and then realized I was just messing with him the whole time. So
he ended up that Leonard Fournette gift that he alone in the room.
Exactly.
What was that? From the Fresh Prince.
Pretty much.
Yeah, there we go. See, I knew I'd get to it eventually. Alfie Crow with us from Big Cat Country. How much has the site changed in terms of, I don't know what the right word is, and I'm not trying to be flippant here, but has it, from a respect standpoint, how much has that part grown? And I'll give an example. Like I believe, and I'm a little ignorant to this, so you can clarify. I remember you used to go to training camps a bunch, but I don't think you would go to the games or in the locker room on a weekly basis. Like you'd get credentials to go to camp, but not necessarily to games and stuff, if I have that right. But that's even changed, I think, over the years, at least here in Jacksonville. I don't know if it's like that around the country and other NFL teams. But how much are you guys now more of a respected source for football information, Jags information, and all the rest to fans?
It's, way different than when I first took over. It took me like 3 or 4 years to even get just camp credentials. And I think eventually I got those because camp was open to the public anyway. And I would just kind of sit in the stands and live tweet everything anyway. And so eventually I think I kind of wore Dan Edwards down, and he gave it to me. And I kind of earned it in that what I was doing, I showed him I was being serious about it. I wasn't just, a fan trying to get access and ask for autographs and all that. So I did at one point have like full credentials. I had another job on top of this, so I couldn't go every day during the week, but I would go to the games. I would go to the press conferences after the games, but for what I needed, that wasn't necessary. So I haven't done it in a while. We have Demetrius who goes there every day now, who kind of does the beat part. But, no, if I asked for credentials, I think I would get full credentials. So, because I've had them in the past there, I just haven't had the need for them for myself. So,
Elfie, and we're about to ask you a question here. I mean, no disrespect whatsoever.
Oh, come on, bring it.
I mean, no
You're
disrespect.
6'6", 245. You can disrespect anybody you want.
Brad, no disrespect, man. I'm an easygoing guy. And keep in mind,
Alfie can take it. He says he doesn't mind being the heel.
Oh, good, man. But keep in mind, I have friends that have played on the team, and I know friends that actually coach the team right now. But is there anything more bland in the entire world than being an Iowa football fan?
I don't know how to take that. I thought we were very general about retiring Barry Alvarez.
Oh, no, here's what I'm talking about from the Iowa football perspective. You guys are good. You guys are always good. You guys churn out draft prospects and all that stuff. But let's be honest, in terms of Big Ten titles and all that, hasn't really been there in a while. So
he did like Epinesa in this draft.
And I felt pretty highly about him too. But my question is what's it like to be the Iowa football fan, man? Because the offense, not really explosive. Defense, obviously, is always tough and durable and things like that. But it's not really the sexiest team to cheer for in college football.
It is not. I will thank my father for that because he is from Iowa City. But the one thing I do have is I get kind of lost in some of the college offenses now because they're all over the place. And I know if I sit down to watch an Iowa football game, I'm going to get, 11 personnel, power eye. I know exactly what I'm going to get, and I know how to follow everything that's going on.
Alfie Crow with us from Big Cat Country. By the way, how many times when I first got here in 2008, I felt like every 3 months Kirk Ferentz was coming to be the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
That was always there.
Yeah, right after the Cowers stuff, right? Cowers got a house and Ferentz is coming to be the next head coach.
Well, I know he was pegged for an NFL guy, which makes perfect sense forever. But I think he kind of has a lifetime job there because they're good like every 2-3 years, and that's all they really care about there.
I think Gene Smith, too, was pretty close with Ferentz. I think there was a lot of ties there that people kind of at least assumed that could happen. All right, you have a family. Are you a lot nicer of a guy than people portray you to be?
I'm sure people who have met me quite a bit will tell you that I am a very nice person. It's just I'm very sarcastic and I make a lot of jokes, which in text form does not come across well all the time.
And you don't back down.
No, I do not back down. That is one of my. It's kind of a double-edged sword.
Yeah, that's all right. Sometimes that can be a good thing. But man, you've got an affinity for the kitchen. I see you tweet out a lot of food things.
I do.
Are you quite the cook?
I do cook most all the meals for our family, and now that we're quarantined, I have a lot of extra time at the house. And I'm on a very strict diet right now, so I have to basically cook everything myself, which is great because I love to cook. But yeah, I'm not to brag, but I'm pretty good in the kitchen.
By the way, I am not at all, but I tried something last night.
What'd you get?
And that we cooked the steaks. Usually I cook steak on the grill.
Yeah.
You probably know this, Alfie, but I'm
yeah,
ignorant to it. But
people cook steaks on the grill. That's not
usually
crazy.
Do.
Yeah.
No, but instead, so we got a pretty thick steak.
Okay.
And
are
we
you
cooked
talking
it
about
in
a strip or a ribeye?
It was actually a sirloin.
Oh, okay.
And so it wasn't anything crazy like that. But we cooked it in the oven at like 275 degrees for 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
We let it sit, and then we seared it for a minute on each side. And it was the best steak I've ever cooked.
Isn't that called the reverse sear, if I'm not mistaken?
That might be
That is
it.
correct. It's the reverse sear.
I've never tried it, and I like my steak medium rare.
Yeah.
And it was the best I've ever cooked it. I was looking into buying one of those crazy grills, like the Green Egg or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll cook the steak again.
Well, first of all,
here.
You don't have to lie to the listeners, though. Okay, it was definitely either filet mignon or Kobe beef or something like that.
Wasn't. It was
because you have a fireplace at your house. Okay, I know what kind of steaks you bring to the table.
It was.
And it wasn't sirloin.
It
okay?
was sirloin cap from Costco. It was.
All right.
I'm not lying.
All right.
But
All
it was
right.
really good. So there you go. I guess I was trying to give you a cooking tip, and that didn't work. You already know.
No, I like to do sear them in the cast iron and then put it in the oven at 500 for a few minutes. And there you go.
Oh, man.
Reverse sear takes too long for me.
All right. Hey, we're going to get you at least some part of football, and then we got to roll out of here. We're getting close to 6 o'clock. We appreciate you jumping on. Alfie Crow from Big Cat Country. We celebrate the Jags and the fans, and this is a site where the fans go, so we appreciate Alfie and Bold City Cap, John Caputo, for coming on. We figured out somewhat who Edilla is today, a little bit at least. And
He's not Dave Caldwell's burner.
No, we interrogated the heck out of him, and I'm not sure we got anywhere. But it was fun hanging out with all of you guys today. Well, how do you feel about the football team, man? I mean, there's been a lot of negativity outside of 17. They're obviously reloading it again or trying to. How do you feel about what they're doing, what they've done this offseason?
I like the drafts. I thought their free agency moves made a lot of sense. But to be perfectly honest, I have no idea what to expect this season. I'm a fan of Minshew. I agree with Austin in that I think people are underrating what he accomplished last year because he was a 6th-round pick. They assume it's a flash in the pan. But if he had been a top 10 pick, I think everyone would be super excited for the next step. So I'm real curious, and I'm hopeful, and I do think that they're going to give him the keys next year to see what they have. But really, I mean, I have no idea. The team has changed so much. I don't even know if they're going to run a 4-3 or 3-4 front, or if they're going to run a mix of both, or, who the running backs are going to be, if Fournette's still going to be on the team, what the offensive line is going to look like. So it's kind of wild to think about how much has changed in just a year.
I kind of like the idea that philosophies are changing now with these times. That might be a dangerous thing. One more for me, at least, before we rock out of here. How much are you a film guy? Like, have you learned the game a lot through film?
I have. I am. I haven't written about it in forever because I'll be honest, everyone says they want you to do that analysis and write it, but no one reads it.
Huh. Interesting. Interesting.
I love doing it, but it's a total time sink.
What is the most read thing? Like, what do people want? Like on Big Cat Country, what are they reading? What are they clicking on?
They care about jersey numbers and trade rumors.
Yeah. No doubt.
All right. Note to self, I'm not going to do any more homework on trying to break plays down because no one cares about it.
Well, that's
made my job a lot more easier.
So listen and watch it. They just won't read it.
I got you.
That makes sense. And that means Dilla is making a lot of moves on Big Cat Country.
For sure.
Trade rumors. There he is. Find the inside scoop. Alfie Crow from Big Cat Country. Thanks, man. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you have a good weekend. Hope you and the family are doing well during this time.
Thank you. Hope you guys are doing good.
All right,
we'll see you around, man.
Good catching up with you. And big wrestling guy.
Oh, yeah, big wrestling guy.
You've seen him at
big festival guy. Oh, yeah, man. I see him every once in a while.
The players hate some of that stuff?
What's that?
Do they read the players know Big Cat
here's
Country?
The thing, and I was going to kind of dive in this a little bit. So, like, when I was a player, like, I knew who Alfie was, right? And I knew who Big Cat Country was. And, like, coming up, obviously you have preconceived notions, right? Like, nobody wants your best interest. And as a player, you're kind of guarding everything. So, like, looking back on it now, man, like, I don't really have a lot of regrets, but I wish I would have been a lot more open to those Big Cat Country guys when I played, because they're actually really cool dudes. You know, like you saw NFL Fournette go to the Zoom call. There's a reason. Because they're cool people. Like, yeah, they talk, about football, and sometimes they break it down analytically, and sometimes maybe you don't agree with what they're saying, but they're cool people. They're genuine people, and anytime you have that, I think it's a pretty cool thing. So.
We had a Cap, a Dylan, and an Alfie on the show today. We appreciate them all jumping on. That was kind of fun today.
Happy Friday, by the way,
bringing in the Brigade and the Jags fans, and hope you have a great weekend. Tonight, check out that Alex Smith story. Probably be a good one. And also The Last Dance on Sunday. We'll be back here on Monday. You can check us out.
Tony Kukoc episode, Brent, coming up. Can't wait.
You can check us out on TV all weekend long, CBS 47 and Fox 30. Have a good one, everybody.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane. Over the last few weeks, the COVID-19 crisis has taken a toll on many families in our area, and some are having to choose between paying for power or their next meal. Well, you can help. We're partnering with Feeding Northeast Florida for a virtual food drive. To donate, go to ESPN690.com. That's ESPN690.com.
J. David Tax Law wants you to know that they are here to help individuals and businesses with tax debt issues during the coronavirus pandemic. Hey, everybody, this is Brent Martineau. Tax problems can be extremely stressful, especially now. If you owe a tax debt, there are new programs available that can help reduce or eliminate your IRS or sales